Much indeed, Pete, and the umpires for tonight's clash are Ian Clayton and Wayne Hinton. Fourth match in the Foster's Football Cup. Back with the first quarter in just a minute. Welcome back to VFL Park. Good evening to Lou Richards.
Good evening, Peter.
And good evening to Bob Skilton.
Good evening, Pete.
Battle of the co-tenants, Robert. Any interesting moves?
Well, it's a bit hard to pick them up at the moment. We haven't had the opportunity of getting a line-up, but Gaifer is a real old-fashioned player against McIver, and Rendell has opened up in the forward line with Williamson in the first ruck against the big fellows, and it's on behind play.
That's a good start. Nice old box on at centre-half back, or centre-half forward if you prefer. We haven't seen a ball kicked yet, and they're going down like 9 pins. Players coming from everywhere. What a sensational start to this match.
Well, you wouldn't call them friendly neighbours, would you?
There are 4 players not involved in this at the other end of the field. There's a couple of numbers being taken. We'll just let you watch it.
Well, they're certainly boxing on now. And I think it was on from the start there when young Gaifer was chasing
McIver
all over the ground before. Well, that was 5 minutes ago.
Make it 3 players now.
Well, I think Taylor's pretty wise. He's had a bit of trouble sometimes with the tribunal, so he's staying well out of his down there on his own at full forward.
And there's only 2 other players not involved in that little fracas. And you can see them at the top left-hand corner of the picture there. There they are. So they won't be reported. That's Pekin
and Cooper, I think it is.
Daniels.
Is it Daniels?
Yep.
Was it Pekin or Burke?
Well, might have been...
No, it's Burke.
Burke, was it? Number 26.
Well, let's settle that down a bit.
Take 2. So, no time on, of course, in the first quarter. And we've seen 1 minute and 17 seconds of fisticuffs. So umpire Ian Clayton will have a second chance to start the match. Here we go again. This time perhaps with some football. Fellows loses that one out to Big Williamson. Chance for the Magpies to swing into attack early, and the ball is booted forward by Burgess down towards their left half forward position. Burke got grabbed a little bit too high. The Magpies swing into attack through Tony Shaw, and he copped the high one as well. There's no love lost here. Roos tries to crash his way through. Out to Mickey Conlon it goes at left centre wing. And speaking of crashing their way through, Conlon can certainly do that. Now Collingwood run the ball out of attack. That's Gaifer. Ball out towards the left centre wing again. Williams. Good tackle, Harris. Abernathy. High ball to half forward. Or Taylor into the back of his opponent. Be a free kick anyway, and or Mark, doesn't matter. Mark taken down there by Gary Pert. Laurie around Williams. It's going to be on for young and old here. Conlon again. To half forward for the Lions. Williams. No, it was Mullane. Back and turn to Phillips. The hand pass is on to Rains. Just about caught with the ball. Rains goes for the hand pass. In goes McIver very solidly. And umpire Ian Clayton has decided on a bounce at the 2 1/4 minute mark of the first quarter. And what a lively start, Lewis.
Certainly is, Peter, and it's great to be sitting up here. Ball knocked out that time by Rendell. A hurried kick by Turner over the half forward line. Well, the pack missed that. It was a bit of scrimmaging going. Picked up by Mullane. This goes over now to Glowry. This boy did pretty well against Salmon a couple of weeks ago at fullback, I believe. As the ball hits, this is Morwood coming in. Can't pick it up, and it's on for young and old all over the ground. And every player seems to pick the mark to have a go at, Bob.
Yes, I think we find this time of the year that it's really the first time they settle down, as we see Peter Dacos on the interchange bench, not playing, of course, and out for quite some time yet.
No scorers yet. And there'll be a free kick. It'll go to Collingwood's fellows. It'll be against Williamson. And, of course, I think we saw Williamson play up there in Sydney in the early part of last year when Fitzroy visited the Swans. Up it goes. There's Pert and Taylor having a battle. This is Burke coming in, showing a lot of dash down there in the back pocket. He's got the ball, but he's grabbed. He goes after. Oh, he copped a heavy bump that time. They pile in again. And the umpires found a free kick, and wisely so, because this will open up play a bit. It'll go over to Collingwood, to be given to Neville Shaw. Short pass, it's a good one. And that's a great pass by Neville Shaw. And the mark taken here by Daniels. And there's been big reps on this kid too in the practice matches. Well, this is young Daniels. Got a chance to score his first goal in a senior game.
Young boy from Sea Lake. They expect a lot of him at Collingwood, Lou.
There's the kick. And that is a pretty good kick and a goal.
Collingwood lead by 6 points. Daniels getting the first goal of the match. A scrimmage in the centre. No one making any headway. Good tackle, McIver. And umpire Hinton has decided it will be another bounce. I'm just advising players to cool the tempers a little bit. Certainly a fiery start to the match here tonight at VFL Park. Before, as we said in the opening, a very good crowd.
Against Fellows that time, Pete.
Barwick will get the free kick. Barwick at centre field for Fitzroy. Beautiful long kick, good 55 metres in that one. Trying to find Rendell, couldn't do so. Whistle on play when Rendell gets the free kick.
Well, he got it a bit high for McEwen that time. There was no doubt about the free kick, Bob.
No, none at all, Lou. McEwen and Rendell have started off. McEwen realising, I think, that he's got to try and offset the height of Rendell.
Rendell directly in front of goal, but about 45 metres out. Should get the distance. We'll wait on the accuracy. It looks pretty good from here. Scores a level at VFL Park in the Foster's Cup.
Well, we saw last year what a vital player Matt Rendell is to Fitzroy. He was in and out of the side right throughout the year, and whenever Rendell played, Fitzroy were a vastly better side. Whether he had played up on the forward line, I think in his comeback game, in fact, he kicked 9 or 10 goals or thereabouts, and so he's a vital player for Fitzroy just to have out there.
3 Fitzroy interchange players, Rowe, Tilley and Cooper on the right. Scores dead level. Both goals coming from free kicks in the first quarter. Or from set shots, I should say. That'll be in the back to Collingwood. And Smith to take the free kick out to Williams. A play on goal. There's a wrestle behind play with Rains is one of the players involved there. Pert and Taylor clash. No free kicks as the umpire, and a good decision. And a real stack-up developing there. It will be a bounce centre half forward for Collingwood.
I think all this crowded play, Bob, has caused through the Keenans as the start of the fight.
Not really what you'd call a fight, is it?
No, a bit of pushing, and it's typical of footballers. No one seems to get hurt in those scrimmages. Tony Shaw's grab, put off balance that time. Oh, they're going in pretty hard. That was Hinchin going in a bit hard. And there's a player up enter. That's Leon Harris. Williams takes the free kick. The ball up there to Taylor. A chance to mark. Pert goes the knockout and successful. Coming in to meet it now is Daniels. A hand pass back. And the umpires, there's a box on here between Taylor and Pert. They're really at it. Oh, is this... well, this is Tuesday night at TV ringside. Not much football going on. It's going to be very, very hard to pick the best player. We'll have to give the boy of the week the prize, won't we? Oh, golly. We thought that Taylor was going to be a good boy because he stayed out of all that trouble in the early part.
Well, maybe he just didn't like to run the length of the ground.
Well, let's see what the umpire's going to do with this. Is there any numbers taken, Bob? Did you notice that?
I didn't see any pencils come out that time, Lou.
Well, there's a free kick going out there. Who's to take the... It'll be Daniels again, a chance to kick his second goal. He's about 35 metres out on a pretty acute angle. There's the kick on its way. But this time the young fella's off his target and through for 1 point. So for the boy from Sea Lake has kicked 1 goal 1, and Collingwood a 1 goal 1, 7 points. To Fitzroy, 1 goal.
Gary Pert brings the ball back into play. He was involved in that little skirmish with Taylor. Mark taken by Ruse. Up towards the centre wing position. Good defence by William. Mullane gets the ball into the open spaces. Shaw. Abernathy. To Mullane again. 2-on-1 out there. Chance for the Lions through the agency of Hinchin to get the hand pass away. Back to Barwick. Barwick high ball, still on the centre wing, very close to out of bounds. Was it touched? Wait on the boundary umpire. No, free kick. And let's see who's going to take it. Tony Shaw.
It's pretty hard to pick the free kicks up. They're coming pretty quickly.
Well, I'll tell you what, he could have given plenty. Tony Shaw, a little bit short of centre wing. Kick not a long one, only travels about 30 metres. He was trying to find Fellows. This time it is out of bounds, but not on the full. And there will be a throw-in just next to the interchange area. 9 1/4 minutes gone in the first quarter. Certainly a fiery one. Collingwood by a point in the battle of the co-tenants. Winner of this match to play Footscray in the quarter-final match as the ball was picked up by Smith. Smith goes for a short pass, and that's okay. Mark taken by Morwood. Morwood left half forward flank. Another short pass, and that one is equally as good. Collingwood forward work at the moment.
He's looking good, isn't he?
And the mark taken by Daniels, who, as Lou mentioned, has kicked Collingwood's total of 7 points so far. A good mark.
Bit of class about this lad too, Bob, the way he's going now.
It's a little bit like a young Barry Price, Lou.
Yes.
He does, doesn't he? That's his second goal, so he's still kicked Collingwood score. It's now 13 points. And so it's 7 points the difference, and the question posed to Bob, would you move Burke already, Robert?
No, I don't think so. As we see a Fitzroy player, young Williamson caught one, but I think they're allowed to play on as Conlon goes forward.
Long kick. Fitzroy swinging to attack. He's looking for Matt Rendell. Can't find him. The tall fellow was there, though. A wild hand pass from Osborne. That's Collingwood through the agency of Shaw. Get the ball back to Fellows. Fellows, awkward-looking kick. Only travels about 20 metres. The mark, a chance for Lyon. Couldn't pick it up. Plenty of fumbling going on. That's a trip surely to Harris, but the umpire says no, sir. Conlon tries to crash through. Almost a throw. Out comes number 19 for Collingwood, and Dixon can't get the ball clear. Burgess comes in to back him up. Still tempers a little bit frayed. A Fitzroy ball. Free kick at half forward, and it will be taken by Laurie. Osborne and Rains. Short pass. Quinlan, good mark.
Pass.
And a magnificent lead too, Bob.
Taking the mark in front of Glowry. First touch tonight for Bernie Quinlan. Super boot himself. Has the chance to bring up a goal from about 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Quinlan, one of the all-time greats in the VFL. I don't think that's a goal. I'll wait on the goal umpire. He might get another kick or a 15-metre penalty.
Yes, both. I think a lot of the tempers of being frayed is that both the sides have sent a few players out to do jobs, and they've started off doing them, as Lou said earlier, in old style, and some of these players don't quite like the close attention.
No, they like to be alone, Bob.
Quinlan, second chance for a goal. This time makes no mistake. Quinlan's first, Fitzroy second. The Lions trailed by a point.
Well, we're just over the 12-minute mark of this first quarter of the Foster's Football Cup, the fourth for the 1986 season, and we see Collingwood 2 goals, 1, 13 points, leading Fitzroy by a point, 2 goals to 12 points.
On replay, we see now Bernie Quinlan, a beautiful lead, and an equally good pass by the veteran player, you might call him now, as we saw a lovely piece of play by Grant Laurie, who's lined up on a wing, and that's really where he should be.
Centre bounce, a point the difference. Knocked out by Williams. Oh, down goes Dixon. He got it a bit high, but the umpire will pay a free kick. And there's been plenty of going around tonight this early stage of the match. Chance for Pert to mark. He does. Oh, he's dropped that one. A chance for Taylor to pick it up. He's clear. A hand pass comes out to Moore. A bad one. Williamson goes down. He's grabbed by Moore. They pile and Taylor taps it out nicely. Neville Shaw, a snap at goal. He's got it through for a goal. So it's Collingwood going through now for 3 goals, 1, 19. The Fitzroy 2 goals, 12. There's been some nice goals kicked, and even though this has been a pretty rugged sort of an affair, Bob, with not much system going on.
Well, we watched the replay of this, and if you watch the play of Taylor here, and even though Neville Shaw kicks the goal, there's the tap on from Taylor out to Neville Shaw. It's a lovely goal by Neville Shaw, but excellent play by Brian Taylor.
Well, we'll give Taylor the credit for that goal, even though Shaw kicked it. Fellows against Williamson. Knocked out by Fellows. Oh, it's nearly a free kick there, but the umpire said no. But he's going to ball it up. I thought it might have been a free kick to Blakey that time. Thought he might have got it in the back. Centre bounce again. Knocked out by Fellows. Picked up by Smith playing on the forward line tonight. Ball tapped on by Harris. Down goes Roos. Umpire said he got it in the back, and he called play on. Roos scoots around an opponent then. Kicks the ball from centre half back. Looking for Turner, and he's found him. Turner short of centre half forward, nearly another box on the centre of the ground, but they've decided not to go on with it. Turner clear at centre half forward, a long shot at goal. Ooh. Looking up there for Rendell. Bernie Quinlan's there, but he dropped it, and it's through for 1 point. So Fitzroy move on to 2 goals, 1-13 to Collingwood, 3 goals, 1-19, just over 14.5 minutes gone of this very hectic first quarter of the Foster's Football Cup between Fitzroy and Collingwood.
No love lost between the co-tenants as McEwen brings the ball back long towards the outer side of the ground. Knock away by Laurie. Could have almost been in the back to Mullane, who's first to recover. Short pass. Neville Shaw takes the mark. One of Collingwood's goal kickers. He's got 1. Daniels 2 for the Magpies in the first term. Short pass. Morewood had the ball and then dropped it. It's left to Roos. High to half forward. Sumner. Likewise, couldn't do much with that. Ball picked up for Fitzroy by Blakey. Loose ball, right half forward flank. Can the Lions through Osborne gain control? Beautiful. Does it well. Out to Blakey again. Blakey's short pass. Is that a mark or a bump ball? McIver thought it was a mark. Like a New Zealand slips catch, that one. Chance for Fitzroy. Down goes Pekin, holding the ball, I think.
It's a free kick to Gafer for holding the man, Pete.
Gafer's got it. He's gone for the hand pass to Smith. Mullane. Blakey in pursuit. Gets his kick in. Back towards centre wing. Little staging there for a free kick. The umpire was right onto it. Morwood does well to pick the ball up. 4 Fitzroy players are there, though, and they get beaten for it by Tony Shaw. Beautifully done from Tony Shaw. The Collingwood machine looking good at the moment. Burgess. Magpies up the half forward. Oh, Taylor got one in the back from Pert. And another one. Thanks very much. And no free kick. Oh, what are you going to do?
I think he might have been acting a bit, Pete, just the same. Well, I think there may have been a very slight free kick.
We're watching on replay now as we see.
That's one. Oh, acting. I'll turn it up.
I wouldn't have played it personally.
Failed the net. Out to Turner. Shaw in pursuit again. Turner, beautifully done. Playing well for Fitzroy. Turner's kick high towards Conlon and Phillips. Neither can take the grab. And the Foster's sign on centre wing. Ball chipped further down towards the half-forward line for Collingwood. Ruse lifts the ball out to Hinchin. Hinchin down towards the half-forward line for Fitzroy. That's where they're breaking down at the moment. Collingwood's defence is certainly teaming well together. Smith now towards left centre wing. The mark taken by Williams. Williams on the Morwood also playing well. Morwood hooks it back towards the centre half-forward position. Which way is it going to bounce? Taylor is there, so too is Burgess. Oh, got one for his corner. Free kick short.
Yes, a free kick to Burgess. Copped it pretty high, but I think the Fitzroy player got one when he went down too.
Yes, well, if a goal's scored here, it belongs to McKeon at the other end of the ground.
It's great play, Bob.
On replay now, we see Burgess cop one too high, but then as we come down, I think Williamson copped the worst of it, but it was the other end of the ground. McKeon, who just left his opponent, came right up the ground, took the bit between the teeth, and now we see Tony Burgess having a go at goal because of the great play of Ron McKeon.
Well, he's about 35 to 40 metres out. The kick is not a good one, and it's out of bounds on the full, so just on the, or just over the 7.5-minute mark. It's Collingwood now, 3 goals, 1-19. To Fitzroy, 13 points. Collingwood bench there. I suppose they're pleased they're sitting out there for this part of the game too, because it's easy to get reported as Dixon has a shot towards the goal, but he's off target, the little fellow.
I think Billy Pickett would love to be out in amongst
Well, yes, and it'll be great to see Billy Pickett come out here. And incidentally, Pete and Bob, there's a fairly good crowd, not over the 10,000 mark, I would say.
Excellent crowd. I tell you, he'd also like to be out there, Peter Dacos.
Yes, he certainly would.
Pert
shoots the ball out there. Flying high was Aberneth. He got under that one, couldn't pick it up. Line gets a hand pass. The ball hits the deck. Has a chance now for the ball to be driven up there by Fitzroy's Ruse. Gets it over the half-forward line. The ball hits the deck. Sumner coming in for Collingwood. Picks it up nicely. Looking for somewhere to go as he shoots the ball back there to Little Dixon's. Got the mark. Got one after he marked it, but played on. Oh, he played on for sure. But there's a hand pass coming out there to Smith. The ball over the half-forward line. And this is Burke taking the mark, showing a lot of dash and a good pass. Oh, fumble by Blakey, but he's got plenty of time to pick it up at centre field. He goes for the long kick. Looking out there now, coming into Williamson got right under that. McEwen goes on, got him in the back, and he'll get a free kick this time, Williamson, from one in the back against McEwen.
So Williamson a chance to put Fitzroy deep into attack with only a minute of the first quarter remaining. Need to be a long kick. Landed in the 10-metre square for Quinlan. Was it touched? Don't know. Right on the goal umpire. Yes, it was. One behind. And Billy Pickett does some exercise with the mouth guard. The difference is now 6 points. 20 plays 14 in favour of Collingwood. 3-2 to 2-2 in the Foster's Cup.
I should imagine he'll give a pretty rousing round of applause when he runs onto the ground, Pickett, whenever it happens, Pete.
Won't be long, probably in the second term. I reckon we might see him. Glowry towards the outer side. Big pack of players out there. Rains. Harris in the back. Free kick to Jeff Rains. Jeff Rains just up from the back pocket. Could have also been in the back.
Beautiful mark.
Umpire pays the advantage rule as the siren goes for quarter time. Picked up by Williams, and it will be 6 points the difference at the first change, with Collingwood leading 3-2. Fitzroy 2-2, 20 plays 14 at quarter time.
Well, we've got the big match at VFL Park at the weekend. Of course, that April the 1st, and that should be a great match, Essendon-Richmond, Bobby.
Yes, well, I think Richmond have got a lot to prove. Their practice games so far have not been good, whereas Essendon look as though they've carried right on from the start. So that should be a top-notch match, because it'll be interesting to see what type of side Essendon put onto the field. No doubt Richmond will need to put their utmost side in.
Well, OK, at quarter time we saw a very fiery first quarter. For the first 3 minutes there was no football at all. It was a complete boxing match, and we see Collingwood 3 goals 20 to St Kilda Fitzroy, I should say, 2 goals 2-14. Only 6 points in it, Bob. Still a very close encounter.
Yes, I think both coaches would look upon the first term as one in which both sides should settle down a little bit. Neither side would have played anywhere near as well as their coach would have liked. There was too much attacking all over the ground, and I don't think you could do much about picking best players in that quarter, because no player really stood out, Lou, and it'll be interesting to see who will win the best player at the end of the night.
Tonight's player of the match will receive this magnificent car audio system, including an auto-reverse cassette player, AM/FM stereo radio, high-power, slim-profile 7-band graphic equalizer, amplifier, and high-efficiency two-way speaker system. All with the compliments of National Car Audio. Sound on the move. The player of the series will own and drive Nissan's all-new Australian-developed Prestige family saloon. The new car, which will boast the highest level of luxury and comfort, is due to be unveiled shortly. Remember, you're on a winner at your Nissan dealer.
Repeating the scores at quarter time in a very fiery first quarter. Collingwood 3 goals 2-20 to Fitzroy, 2 goals 2-14. And Bob, how do you see the match so far?
Well, a very even match so far, and Tony Shaw having a word at the moment as we see the start of the game, it looks like. And this was before a kick was even on the board. The umpire had not even bounced the ball, and there were 33 odd players in it. We saw Brian Taylor, who didn't bother to go down. Also up there in the back pocket there was Peter Burke and the youngster from Sea Lake, Daniels, who has started off in fine style. He's got 2 goals, 1 on the board, and it was a great start by the youngster from down there at Sea Lake. Fitzroy had young Blakey, who was captain of the under-19s last year. He was also doing well. Pert doing a fair job against Taylor, but Brian Taylor did have a hand in a great goal by Neville Shaw. The back line for Fitzroy has Paul Roos doing well there. Turner's got the better of Jeff Rains in the centre. On the wings, quite an even duel. No one really standing out there, nor up forward for Fitzroy. Wendell did well early in the piece, but he's been held. He's now gone into the ruck, changing with Williamson. Not a great deal. The smaller men around the packs with Tony Shaw and Neville Shaw, Greg Smith and Daniels doing the better for Collingwood, but a very even quarter, as the scoreboard says. 20 points to 14, only 1 goal in it.
Goal kickers for Collingwood so far. Daniels has 2 and Neville Shaw 1, and for Fitzroy, Bernie Quinlan has 1, and Matt Wendell also has 1 goal. Down on the boundary line, Peter Donegan and Jack Edwards.
Thank you, Pete. Well, David Parkin at quarter time urged his players to show their sincerity. He said they've got to concentrate on defence, and Matt Wendell was telling his players to attack and then make sure they defended, Jack.
Yes, well, the way the Collingwood boys looked at it, wasn't the coach telling them what to do. They had a sort of discussion about the whole thing. I thought that was very good, each putting a little piece in as to what they should do. But Rose did insist that when the ball got in the Collingwood forward line, it must be retained until a goal was scored. But he had a real team effort in that quarter-time address. I thought it was very good.
Well, let's see if it's going to be as even or as torrid in the second quarter as we go back upstairs to Peter Bobbin.
Well, thank you, Pete. Thank you, Jack. Just about set for the second term at VFL Park now. Players taking up their positions. Bernie Quinlan, 1 goal to his credit so far. On the left of him, Glowry. Umpire Hinton bounces the ball to start proceedings in the second term. I wonder if it's going to be as eventful as the first quarter. Chance for the Roys. No one making any headway. Finally, a wild hand pass comes out from Williams, not to a teammate though. Morwood was there. Finally, it's left to Shaw to pick the ball up and drive Collingwood forward. And a good mark, running the same way of the ball as Hinchin. Played a very good first quarter too. Out to Roos. Roos on the left centre wing. Roos, of course, an interstate representative for Victoria last year. Chance for Gayfer. Not a Gayfer. Gets the ball back to Burgess. Kick is high from Williams. From Mullane, rather. Down it comes to Dixon. Dixon, a short pass in towards the forward pocket. Taylor, mark, free kick, neither. Paddled over the boundary line by Pert. Very good duel between those two. David Parker already on the phone early in the second quarter. The bulk of Taylor in the ruck for Collingwood, palms it down, or Dixon had it and then fumbled the chance. It left to Conlon for Fitzroy now. Conlon from left half-back flank. He'll be hoping for an injury-free season. Burning Harris. Wobbly punt kick, certainly not well directed. Out to Glowry, back to Rains, gets around Williamson. 20-metre hand pass into the open spaces. Fellows is there, couldn't quite take it. Turner, McIver, he goes down through the legs of Harris again. Or just about a throw, but it comes to Harris. He won't mind taking it. McIver again. Back to Leon Harris. Plenty of mistakes being made there. Fitzroy through Williamson. Shot at goal. Out of bounds. Is it? It is now. Not on the full, I don't think. It will be a boundary throw-in the left forward pocket.
Both sides are playing a lot of pressure, Pete, and that's why I'm sure there were some ill-directed handballs there, as we see Lee Matthews and Bob Rose having a word.
Fellows carrying the bulk of the Collingwood rucks tonight, with David Cloak out injured. By Clayton has found one, I think, for in the back. Will go to Williamson. Yes, it will. So Williamson has a chance to make amends after that poor shot at goal previously.
Well, he's only about 25 metres out on a slight angle. 6 points the difference. This kick, if it's successful, could make scores dead level. The big fella's off target, and it'll go through for a point. So it's 5 points the difference. Collingwood 3 goals, 2:20. To Fitzroy, 2 goals, 3:15. Just over the 2.5-minute mark of this second quarter of the fourth match of the Foster's Football Cup for 1986. And it's been a pretty torrid one. Ball back into play again. Flying high was Abernethy. Didn't pay the mark. Picked up by McEwen. Grubs it along the ground. It'll go out of bounds. But it's up towards the centre wing position. It's about 85 metres around from the Fitzroy goal. Waiting now for the throw-in. It'll be Rendell this time, who's been having a spell down there in the forward pocket to do battle with Fellows. At the back was Burgess. Actually was knocked out that time by Laurie. A hand pass from Sumner comes out to Tony Shaw. Another long hand pass out to Sumner again. He goes down, picked up by Neville Shaw, not doing a bad job on the wing either. Back to Taylor. He goes down. The umpire's ignoring those stages or whatever they are. Good play on the part of Smith. A chance for Daniel's third goal, but he fumbled that one. And the young fella from Sea Lake, I suppose Bob, you could say that's his first mistake for the night.
I wouldn't blame Daniels on that occasion, Lou. Wasn't a good hand pass, but there was no fault of Smith because he was falling as he hand passed.
Knocked out by Rendell. Ball kicked along the ground. Finally picked up again, this time by Conlon, showing a lot of dash. Boots the ball long out towards the wing position. There's a good mark taken in defence this time by Mullane.
Looks good on the half-back line.
Yes, he's got he's big enough to play as a half-back, isn't he?
Well, last year we saw Burgess on the half-back line. He's on the wing tonight, and so he and Mullane have swapped virtually.
Shaw gets a hand pass out to Burgess, and Collingwood go deep into attack up there to Taylor and Pert. Knocked out by Pert, grabbed by Neville Shaw again. A hand pass coming over to Dixon, a hurried left foot. There's a chance for a mark here, and Daniels has got a chance now for his third goal. He's only about 5 metres out, directly in front. He makes position very well, this young fellow.
I think now I would move Bert, Pete.
I think I'd start moving him now.
Sorry, Bob, the question was a little early, was it?
Let's wait and see what Daniels can do. Going for goal number 3 for this young fella playing his first senior game. And this will be Collingwood's fourth. Oh, he's missed it. Might have been a bit too confident. Oh, that was a shocker. An easy one missed that time by Daniels. So Collingwood go to 3 goals, 3:21. To Fitzroy, 2 goals, 3:15. And we're just on the 5-minute mark of this second quarter.
Still a goal the difference as Pert brings the ball back into play. Burgess gets the ball further forward. Well, Roos overruns it. Now he's got a second chance to try and pick it up and effect a hand pass. It wasn't a good one. Morwood finally gets the ball into the open spaces, but it's going to be a bounce about 45 metres from goal. Certainly a torrid match, the fourth in the Foster's Cup. Co-tenants showing no love lost between the two sides. Back to Conlon, as Lou mentioned, not playing a bad game tonight, picked up by Burke. A couple of solid clashes behind play. No more fisticuffs. Great mark to Jeff Rains, and if he can fire, Collingwood will certainly be in for a good year. Mark taken by Burgess. Burgess on right centre wing. Short pass to half forward. Morwood got a little bit underneath the ball, couldn't take the grab. Back towards the edge of the square. Raines going in very solidly. It's going to be a free kick to Turner. Is it Turner? He's hurt. I don't know whether we have that on replay. Yes, here it is. Watch Raines crash into him. And down he goes. No question of any reports being made, but just another incident in a game.
I don't think it was reported.
No, I didn't. That's what I said, Bob. I said no question of any reports being made, but just another incident in a game that's seen many already. So Turner gets up to take his free kick, and it's not a bad one. Now towards left centre wing, knock on by Lyon. Chance for little Harris to pick the ball up, which he does well. Gets it back to Rendell. Caught. Wasn't too high by Raines. Certainly in everything so far. And Raines gets one for his own corner and comes out with the free kick. You don't do it in front of the umpire. Raines from right centre wing. Good long kick. Williams, great mark. In front of Hinchin. Mark Williams on the right half forward flank. That'll land just about in the goal square. Burke at the back. Roos is there. Plenty of Fitzroy defenders, and I think Burke will be content to let it roll through. Is it out of bounds? It's the latter. And so it will be a boundary throw in left forward pocket for Collingwood. The Magpies lead by 6 points, as they did at quarter time. Again, not a high-scoring game, but it's one that's got plenty of interest so far. Knocked down by Rendell. Can't get it clear of the pack, though. Over the boundary line again, this time from Roos. Once again, a boundary throw in, almost in the identical spot.
And we're just over the 7.5-minute mark of this second quarter. Well, Collingwood have been into attack for most of this second quarter, but haven't scored the goal they need to get them a little bit further ahead. The umpire's gone, no, he won't ball this up. It's hurried out of the pack. There's a chance now for the ball to be picked up by Laurie. Good play as a hand pass coming over here now to Barwick. Barwick's clear. He shows a lot of dash. Oh, he's fumbled. Gets it back to Turner, who fumbles the ball. A long kick up there towards the forward position. Oh, there's a great mark to Osborne. He's a strong player, this fellow. That was a strong mark. Now he's got a chance.
On replay, we see Richard Osborne outmanoeuvre Mullane, and from this position, Osborne should make the distance.
Well, if he's successful, scores will be dead level. We approach the 8.5-minute mark of the second quarter. It's a good kick, and it's a goal. 9 minutes gone of the second quarter, and scores are dead level. And this battle of the Tenants, the co-tenants, the ball hits the ground. Ooh. Oh, golly, Smith went out, but the umpire's not going to pay it. He's going to ball it up again.
He ran straight into that one.
Yep, well. Ball up again. Down. Well, I think Rendell might have got that. There'll be a free kick this time to Fitzroy. It'll go to Turner. He's been in the thick of things too, Bob. He's played a fair game.
You see, and Raines are having a good duel in the centre.
Copped a couple, hasn't he?
So Turner goes for a hand pass. It's a good one over to Laurie. Shows a lot of dash. Kicks the ball over the half forward line. They all missed that one. There's a chance now for Glowra to pick it up. He fumbles. He still goes after it, but couldn't get it because he fell over, kicked off the ground that time by little Bernie Harris, and it's out of bounds, and it'll be a throw in from that forward pocket right against the Fitzroy goal post. Scores dead level, 21 points apiece. Williamson and Fellows. Oh, good play by Bernie Quillian. Brilliant play. And he's putted it through for a goal, the old time.
2 goals to Bernie Quinlan.
What a brilliant bit of play on the part of Superboot then, Bobby.
This is a play that you just cannot leave for 1 second. As we watch on replay, the ball straight down. Quinlan reading it well and took it straight off the hands. It was actually a Collingwood knockout, really.
Yep.
And Quinlan reading it beautifully, and a delighted Bernie Quinlan as well he might be for his second goal.
2 goals to Quinlan, 1 to Osborne for Fitzroy, and 1 to Rendell. The Lions at the lead now. They lead by 6 points. They trailed by 6 at the first change. As once again, we'll see another bounce. Rendell against Fellows, the 2 tallest players on the field. It's left to Smith, though, to knock it away. Chance for Lyon. In goes Roos. He lost it pretty quickly, though, and picked up for Collingwood by Dixon. Back to Taylor and Pert, who are having a real bumping duel down there again, as they have all night. Pert wins out on this occasion. Long kick up towards the centre wing position. 2 Collingwood players are there. On to Raines. Raines' kick is a high one. Underneath it is Osborne. Burgess was the flyer. Osborne wins out, showing a great turn of speed on centre wing. He's gone for a short pass down towards left half forward, trying to find Harris. Does so. Harris onto Conlon. As Harris got decked by Mullane. The ball goes through for 1 point. Or will it be another kick? It will be another kick against...
Kick to Conlon will be.
Mullane. We were speaking to Mullane, umpire Clayton. And Mickey Conlon will take the free kick, as Bob mentioned. But he's just about on the boundary line.
I've seen him kicking from here before, Peter.
He's not playing badly tonight either.
He's played well.
Has he trimmed down a bit?
Not by the arms.
That's a big boy.
I'll tell you what, he's moving well, though.
Certainly is.
I think the run on the ball that he's having tonight is getting him away from that close attention that you get when you're continually on a half-back flank. Half-forward flank, I should say.
He's built like a half-back flanker, though, isn't he, to take your point? 7 points the difference. Fitzroy in front. 28 plays 21.
I wouldn't want to try and stop him in full flight.
No, I think I'd stand aside. A real pressure game here. Rendell and Fellows. Actually, Fellows got 2 hands to it, but couldn't take the mark. Picked up by McIver. McIver down to Quinlan, and Superboot has a chance for goal number 3. Great mark. It'll need to be good to equal his second goal, which was a superb snapshot about 2 or 3 minutes back. That was vintage Quinlan. Brownlow medalist about 30 metres out. Steers that one through. No, hit the post. So 1 behind. 8 points. Fitzroy's lead in the Foster's Cup. 29 plays 21.
And David Parkin on the phone, but I should imagine he'd be pretty happy with his side's form this last 5 minutes because their forward play has been really good. It's improved immensely. Collingwood had been into attack for most of the start of this first quarter. The ball back into play again. There's a chance now for Quinlan. Smothers that one well, goes after it. He's got to get clear. They grab it. They soon pin him to the ground. And they'll be holding the ball against him. Burnley didn't have much chance against Burgess then. Quinlan's going okay down there at full 40. He's already kicked 2 goals. So the ball back into play again. Out there towards the wing position. Roos couldn't hold that. Picked up by Neville Shaw. A hand pass coming over now. And that's Gayfer kicking the ball over the half-forward line. I like his style too. Pushed on by Dixon. Still goes up. He was upended. Didn't get a free kick. I thought he might have been tripped, but the umpires didn't think so, and the ball is out of bounds.
Yes, I'm sure it was a free kick there, Lou. There was no doubt that Dixon should have been paid the free.
Waiting now for the ball to come back into play.
Rendell coming off behind play.
Tapped out by Roos. Down goes Blakey trying to get it out. Picked up by Smith, weaving his way through the pack. Wasn't too successful getting the ball out. And the umpire will still ball it up on Collingwood's half-forward line about 60 metres out from their goal.
A very disappointed looking Matt Rendell. Tilly coming onto the ground, and he was dogged by injury last year. Let's hope it's nothing serious.
This is Tilly getting the knockout soon as he comes on the ground. Kicked away by Leon Harris. Oh, line overran the ball that time. Laurie goes after it, smothered by Burts. He jumps on. Good play on the part of Laurie. Got it out. But little Harris, Bernie Harris, couldn't grab it in time, and the ball is out of bounds. Out of bounds on the centre wing position with Fitzroy 4 goals, 5:29 to Collingwood 3 goals, 3:21 as we approach the 15-minute mark of this second quarter, the Foster's Football Cup. Going after it again is Neville Shaw, doing very well in the wing. A short pass. It's a shocker. Burke dropped that one, but he'll get a free kick from the back of the neck or on the side of the face as the umpire indicated. Burke doesn't hesitate. A quick hand pass to Roos, and Fitzroy looking a lot better now. Back towards the centre of the ground. Smith got his hands but couldn't hold the mark. Good play on the part of Blakey. In goes Bernie Quinlan. Kicks the ball out. Chance for Hitchin to pick it up out there at half forward. A long kick up there towards the full forward position. Mullane tried to smother it. Stepped on. There's a chance for a goal for Conlon. He goes down from McEwen. Ball picked up by Mullane. He slips. There's a hand pass. Conlon again goes in. He's got a chance for a goal. He might have got it. Yes, I think he...
Conlon's first goal, 5-5. Fitzroy, they lead Collingwood now. They've kicked 3 goals in this quarter. Collingwood have added only 1 point. 14 points the difference in the Foster's Cup. So Fitzroy, as we mentioned, looking a lot better. Rains this time, sockets it off the carpet. Not a good one. Roos playing well at half back. As the Lions swing into attack again, it's picked up by Lyon down towards half forward. Sumner misses the mark. Fitzroy's attack looking a lot better with Conlon and Quinlan firing. It's the old firm, isn't it? Peter Donegan, any news on Matt Rendell? What was the matter?
He's got a strained groin, Pete. Now, whether or not he'll be able to come back on, I don't know, but he's not too happy at the moment, and they're paying him a lot of attention.
OK, Burgess just about throws it out the shore. Picked up by Mullane again. Mark taken, almost taken, I should say, by Williams. Could have got a free kick. Collingwood supporters looking for one, but not there, I don't think. And it's going to be a bounce on the half-forward line for Fitzroy, who've done most of the attacking in this term, which has been in progress over 17 minutes now. Less than 3 minutes to the half-time break. Collingwood yet to score a goal in the second quarter. Tony Shaw's kick is a high one, doesn't travel the required distance, so knocked away. Picked up by Burgess. His kick dropping short, round about the centre wing position. Loose ball on centre wing, picked up by Burke. Hurried hand pass, Lyon again, back to Pekin, just about dispossessed, almost holding the ball. In fact, it will be a Collingwood free kick.
Collingwood have swung Phillips to centre-half forward, Moore to centre-half back. Roos is dominating at centre-half back, and Phillips has to be down there to try and stop the dominance of Roos.
The two Shaws get the ball down to Taylor, but he couldn't take the mark. Dixon, hand pass. Back it goes to Phillips. We haven't seen much of him tonight. Phillips with a left foot shot at goal. Badly needed one for Collingwood.
18.5 minutes gone of this second quarter. 8 points the difference in favour of Fitzroy. Knocked out by Fellows. Well, Roos going in again. Couldn't get that one. Dixon's at the bottom of the pack for Collingwood. The umpire will ball it up at centre field. Fitzroy 5-5 to Collingwood 4-3. We approach the 19-minute mark of this second quarter. The Magpies badly needing a goal in this last minute or so. Fumbling going on that time. Abernethy hand pass comes out now. It's Mr. Roos again, and playing as Bob said before. A great game at centre half back. Over it goes to Burke. Burke sends it down there, looking out there for Blakey, I think it might have been.
Out of bounds.
No, it's McIver, but it's out of bounds. So the ball is out of bounds on that half-forward line for Fitzroy, about 60 metres around from their goal. And they're in front by 8 points. We're just on the half-time siren. Fellows got the tap down. Oh, golly, would you want to be out there for £1 million?
What chance did Laurie have?
No chance in the world. The free kick will go to Tony Shaw. It's a hurried kick out there to Burgess. Burgess out there at half-back.
Another good player, Lou.
He's played well, Burgess. So has Neville Shaw played well too. Short pass. Oh, he looked that time, Neville Shaw. He thought someone was coming from behind. The mark taken here by Pekin. So Pekin got one on the back from Taylor very foolishly in a 15-metre penalty. So any chance Collingwood getting a goal before half-time is gone. We're just on the half-time siren now, and it's still 8 points the difference. And there's the siren as we see McIver take that mark, but he's too far out. So at half-time in the Foster's Football Cup, the fourth of the series, 5 goals, 5-35 to Collingwood, 4 goals, 3-27.
Well, I'm sure, Lou, as they go up the race, David Parkin would be quite happy with his side's performance, particularly Paul Roos. On screen at the moment, in my opinion, clearly best man on the ground so far. But Fitzroy doing far better than Collingwood in that term, and I do not think that Bob Rose will be very happy at all with the efforts of the Collingwood side, particularly up forward. They got nothing at all from either of their key positions. Their smaller players were doing well up the ground, but not on the forward line. So a happy David Parkin and not so happy Bob Rose.
I'd go along with that, Bob. And Collingwood at the beginning of that second quarter had most of the, did most of the attacking, but I don't think, fellas, we've seen such a fiery opening to the Foster's Football Cup for a long time. I think in the first 2 minutes of play there wasn't a kick or a hand pass that eventuated in the game, was there?
Yes, it was pretty heated at the start, and well, I think it's a good sign really, because it shows that both sides are very keyed up to win.
Well, I think some of the clubs in their financial positions too need the money.
Right, 4-3-27 Collingwood, Fitzroy 5-5-35. At half-time, the Lions by 8 points in the fourth match of the Foster's Cup, and we'll be back with half-time comments and Palmer's punchlines in just a moment. And welcome back to VFL Park. Very good quarter by Fitzroy. They added 3 goals, 3 to Collingwood, 1 goal, 1. Fitzroy trailing at quarter time by 6 points, and they lead at half time by 8 points, 5-5 to 4-3. For Fitzroy, Bernie Quinlan has 2 goals. One of those was a real pearler. Rendell has 1. He left the field about 5 minutes before half time. Mickey Conlon has 1, playing very good football at the moment. And Osborne also has 1 goal. For Collingwood, 2 goals to Daniels, 1 to Neville Shaw, and 1 to Phillips. And Phillips's goal was the only goal kicked by Collingwood during the second quarter of tonight's match in the Foster's Cup, which is the 4th in the series for season 1985. That's the scene in the Collingwood room at the moment.
And of course, let's, before we go back to the rooms, go to our regular half-time feature during the Foster's Cup. It is, of course, Palmer's Punchlines. As we say, a very good evening to the sporting editor of the Sunday Press, Scotty Palmer.
Good evening. It's great to have you back on Punchlines. Collingwood, now the Skippies because of their new sponsor, Mini Skips, will hold discussions tomorrow with tenacious Chris Dalkin. Melbourne is one club that already has heard that Dalkin could be another salary cap victim at Victoria Park. Another is the giant Tongan, Fatua Atati, a strapping young centre-half forward who would have created history for his tiny nation if he'd got his first senior game this year. Ricky Barham will eventually come to terms with the Magpies, but is still idle with a recurring hamstring. Barham needs only one game to qualify as a 10-year player and life membership. A true Magpie like he would hate to give that up. Carlton is asking $20,000 for winger Frank Marcazzani, and that reasonable fee has a couple of clubs interested. Geelong and St Kilda are too, but now there could be more. Tim Jepp is understood to be talking to Subiaco this week about his return to WA, but some people at Punt Road are surprised Collingwood hasn't tried to sidetrack him. Jepp always played well against Collingwood. The Swans come under VFL scrutiny again tomorrow night. An emergency meeting has been called of the league board to hear the Commissioner's recommendation on the restructuring of the Sydney team. To me, it sounds like we could learn about who actually owns the Cinderella side. The night after, the Swans and Geelong go to appeal over three players, Greg Williams, Bernard Toohey and David Bolton. The Cats are looking for $400,000 and a fair bit of it up front. Can't you see that causing a headache before the first match? Carlton strongly denies a Perth rumour that Claremont is attempting to entice full forward Warren Ralph back to the West. Meanwhile, Geelong is still the only club without an official captain. I'm told it will be left to coach John Devine, seen here talking to last year's skipper Michael Turner, to decide who will lead the Cats. Turner is still a slight favourite ahead of Neville Bruns. And two of football's most beloved characters, Laurie Nash, the greatest, Charlie Callender, the most humble, are in hospital tonight. My advice, keep punching fellows. Back to you, boys.
Laurie Nash is in hospital. I'm sure he'll be trying to back-chat the nurses pretty quickly.
Well, let's hope that Laurie...
and Charlie?
Yes.
We let him know who was the best.
Yes, that's right. And he'll fix him up at the hospital. Good luck to you, Laurie.
4-3 to 5-5 at half-time in the Foster's Cup with Fitzroy in front. We'll take a break back at VFL Park with half-time comment in just a minute. Love that Dave Allen show, don't you? 5-5 to 4-3 at half-time. Fitzroy in front, and one person I'm sure that is very happy about that is the chairman of the Fitzroy Football Club, Leon Wiegard. He speaks now with Peter Donegan.
Yes, people, no doubt Leon is happy at half-time. Nice to see an advantage up there on the scoreboard.
Yeah, second quarter was much better than the first, Pete.
Now, Leon, looking over the summer period coming up to the start of the season, Fitzroy, have had their problems. What sort of things have you got to organise for the supporters leading up to the start of the big season?
Well, this weekend's a big weekend. We've got a revival weekend. Everybody will get a phone call from Fitzroy, and on Sunday we're all meeting at the Albert Park Centre at 11:30, and that'll be very important for Fitzroy supporters to be there.
OK, we'll all get along if you can. Now, there are a couple of things that I must ask you. First of all, there's been talk of Fitzroy amalgamating with another club at the end of 1986. Is that all dead and buried?
Oh, a lot of talk about a lot of things, but that's absolute nonsense. Fitzroy are OK. We signed two more sponsors today. One's Campbell Soups, and that means that we're not having soup kitchens at Fitzroy, but they're a very good sponsor, and another one was Lyrebird Products. So we're doing very, very well, and James Hardy Spicer has stayed with us, and we've got terrific sponsorship behind us. And the membership will be really kicked on after this weekend of activity down at the Albert Ground.
Well, what about the financial position of the club, Leon? Are you steady?
Well, we haven't got out of the mire yet, but we're working very well with the VFL, and their administration and the commission are very good. They're very supportive, and we're working very closely with them, and we've got some pretty smart cookies on the board now, and I think we're pretty well on top of it.
Just looking out on the ground tonight, you're in front, but it's the old familiar faces. There doesn't seem to be an awful lot of recruiting being done at Fitzroy over the summer. What's the reason for that?
Well, finance once, but we also have a deep belief that the players we've got are OK. We've still got Jamie Shanahan from Tasmania and Michael Gale to come in from Tassie. They'll be right. Dwayne Rowe will be on the field very shortly, and he's a good little player. So, we've got a few. And our best recruits, in fact, are the ones that didn't play last year because of injury. Mm-hmm. So I think we're OK on the field.
Well, let's hope that Matty Randell's OK, because he suffered a groin injury before half-time, and that'd be a blow.
Yes, it must have happened just before the game started. That I don't know how it happened. But anyway, He's okay. He looked okay in the rooms.
I have a sneaking suspicion that you might have a sneaking suspicion, but nevertheless, that's as far as we're going to take.
Well, they've got numbers of them in jail too, and some of these guys out here would have the same size numbers on.
All right, well, look, good luck for the rest of the season, and the best of luck to yourself and the club.
Thanks, Pete.
Chairman of the Fitzroy Football Club, Leon Uyghur. Let's go back now to Peter Landry.
Right, thank you, Peter, and thank you to Leon Uyghur. Time now to check the latest on the news in the 7 National Newsroom. A very good evening. Right, thank you, Tom, and repeating the half-time score at VFL Park. Fitzroy in front, but only by 8 points. 35 plays 27. We'll take a break. Back in just a moment.
Second half due to get underway shortly, but let's take a look at some of the highlights of the first half now as we get your thoughts on the first 2 quarters. Bob Skill.
We watch now Doug Barwick coming around the wing and showing a good turn of speed. Hand passing on to Turner, who's had a fine duel in the centre with Jeff Rains. Turner copped a very heavy knock early in the piece, and a great mark now by Richard Osborne, who finishes it off with a lovely goal. And Fitzroy in that second term really came back to the extent that Collingwood could only add 1 goal, and that was by their centre-half back, who was shifted down to centre-half forward, with Morwood being well beaten by Paul Roos. Roos having an outstanding game at centre-half back. Mullane showing his inexperience as a backman and setting up a goal here, kicked off the ground by Conlon, who's been a busy player all over the ground for Fitzroy. Up forward, Bernie Quinlan, solid as usual, has shown young Glowry that there's quite a lot to learn as far as football is concerned, and we look at the stats, very even to half-time, with the exception of the handball, with Collingwood 30-19. Kicks very even, marks in favour of Collingwood 8, 14 free kicks to 9. When you look at those stats, you wonder why Collingwood are well down, but in general play, Fitzroy well on top, showing them a good turn of heels, and Collingwood haven't really got many winners. Tony Shaw has done well, Neville Shaw has done well, and Burgess on the wing has been a real success story out there on the wing. Tony Burgess well on top of Grant Laurie, and has probably been Collingwood's best player so far.
What about Daniels, Bob, who kicked 2 goals?
Well, he kicked 2 goals in the first quarter and should have kicked 1 in the third term, and I must say I admired young Peter Burke during that second quarter. I did make the comment that I would have shifted Burke away from Daniels, but from the moment that I did say that, Burke being number 26, young Daniels 37, but Peter Burke, with good attacking player, has gotten back and held Daniels just from that moment.
Well, Peter Donegan has some news for us before the bounce.
Yes, as the bounce is about to take place, Peter, I just spoke to Matty Rendell, and he said that he doesn't think
No changes in the Collingwood side at all. 3 interchange players that started are still on the bench, so they've retained the same team.
OK, let's go back to the boys for the third quarter.
It's the start of the third quarter now at VFL Park in the Foster's Cup. Fitzroy lead by 8 points as the ball comes down towards centre-half forward. In fact, it's Mark Williams to take the mark about 30 metres from goal, and he's directly in front.
It was a good bit of play on the part of Dixon there to get it down there. Quick thinking.
Played a good game, Dixon.
Yes.
He started the season off extremely well last year, Lou.
So Mark Williams, the opportunity to make the difference, only 2 points. It'd be a great start for this quarter for the Magpies if he can do it. We'll wait on the goal umpire. It's full points. And so that's a great start for Collingwood, because that goal came up at the 45-second mark. 2 points in it.
Well, they're the sort of goals flat after a quarter, Bob, that lift the side.
Well, with Fitzroy doing so well in the second quarter and Collingwood starting off like they have at the start of this term with a diving mark, typical Williams style there, it makes one wonder whether the wind has freshened at all, because in the schoolboys game it was going to the other end.
2 points the difference. As umpire Clayton puts the ball down, still in the opening 2 minutes of the third quarter. And a crackerjack game of football at the moment. Nobody can get it out of the centre. It's a free kick going to Fitzroy.
Tilly.
And it will be taken by Big Tilly, who came on late in the second quarter to replace Matt Rendell.
The big lad too.
Big lump of a lad, isn't he? Let's hope he can do the job, because Fitzroy certainly need him with Rendell sidelined at the moment, as Peter Donegan mentioned, with a groin injury. And that's most unfortunate. Fellows, good mark. Fellows at centre half back. Chips it in short, out towards the wing position. Plenty of weight being used there. It's left to Neville Shaw. Not playing a bad game either.
Played very well, Peter.
Out to Dixon, doing battle with Blakey. Dixon pushing the ball further forward, might be out of bounds. He's fired a hand pass, trying to find Mullane. It goes to Rowe, who got one in the back, still fires out the hand pass, picked up by Morwood, back to Mullane. Almost threw it on to Dixon. Dixon with a right footer in towards the forward pocket. Ball bounces unkindly for Hinch, and it's left to Pert. Pert tries to shrug the tackle. Back it goes to Phillips, who kicked a goal in the second quarter. Back to Rose, second touch. On to Conlon. In turn over to Blakey. Have to get his kick in quickly. He does so.
And Blakey's kick is up there towards the centre of the ground, over the top of the pack. There's a chance for Abernathy. Couldn't get clear. He's been very quiet tonight as the ball finally comes out to Barwick. And he shows a lot of dash as he drives the ball down there looking for Quinlan. But it's cleared away. That wasn't Quinlan, that was Williamson, I should say. Cleared away by McEwen. I think it may be out of bounds on the...
No, not in the full, Lou.
No, it'll be a throw-in from Fitzroy's half-forward line. Rendell, as we were told by Peter Donegan, it looks as though he's suffering with a groin injury, which is a bit of bad luck. And they take a bit of fixing up too. Conlon fumbled that one of his few fumbles for the night, over to Harris. That's Leon Harris. In goes Line. He got one on the back, and I think the umpire spotted it. Now it'll go to Leon Harris for one on the back of the head. So the ball up over the half-forward line. Quinlan again. Nearly got it on the second grab, but couldn't do so. Glowry knocked it out that time to Williamson. It's a hurried kick. Smothered that time by McIver. He spins out of the pack. Beautiful chance for a goal. And that's brilliant play. Just on the 4-minute mark, it's 8 points the difference again in favour of Fitzroy. They bounce back pretty quickly. Well, both ruckmen missed that. Picked up by Barwick coming into the game in this third quarter. Coming across to meet Abernathy. He's having a bad night. Down he goes. He recovers okay to pick it up. He's in trouble. Oh, that's a bad hand pass. Chance for Bernie Quinlan. A hand pass coming over now to Barwick. Runs to an open goal. Fires. Oh, bad luck and a bad kick picked up by McEwen on a good pass. And the ball marked out there by Sumner. Abernathy again fumbles. Oh, golly, he's made some mistakes to Bernie Quinlan. Well intercepted that time by Gayfer. Hand pass back to McEwen in plenty of trouble. Back it goes to Glowry. And the Magpies get the ball. They're fumbling down there badly. They're giving Fitzroy a chance. As Barwick spins out of the pack, shows a lot of strength. A hand pass comes over to Laurie. Goes for a short pass. It bounces the wrong way that time for Mullane. This gives a chance here now for Rowe. Rowe, a snapshot at goal, right at the teeth of goal. The pack fly, and there's a beautiful mark taken by Pekin. I think he's got it.
What a ripper.
Well, David Parkin would be pretty happy about that performance by Fitzroy.
The only thing he wouldn't be happy about there was the fact that there were 4 Fitzroy players all competing for that mark.
A lot of mistakes made by Collingwood there too, Bobby.
Well, what I would say was I think there was only 1 Collingwood player in there, so if it was 4-1, where were the other 3 defenders?
Yes, all up, none down. So Pekin, after that great mark, a shot at goal from directly in front, and he has registered only 1 point. Deserved better.
Certainly did.
I remember that at North Melbourne a few years ago, Malcolm Blight kicking a ripper goal from the boundary line, and Ron Barassi hauled him off because he shouldn't have had a shot at goal, according to the coach. That's football. Tilley flying from the back, couldn't do much about it. Barwick went for the knock-on, goes down to Morwood. Almost a throw out to Laurie, who couldn't handle it. The opportunity is for Greg Smith. Smith's kick is not a long one, but it is down to centre half forward for Collingwood. Dixon overruns the ball. Fitzroy combining much better. Blakey gets it out the ruse, as Bob mentioned, the man of the match up until half-time, certainly. Good pass to Laurie. Laurie chips it in short. Up towards centre wing and Rowe. He's done pretty well since he came on too. Or Tilley got offloaded there by big fellows and decides to box on with him. So no love lost between those two as play continues up to Morwood. And it's on for Young and Old in the centre wing, and I told you how it started. Play still continues.
Oh, the interchange players into it.
Daniels shot at goal. He's put it through for away to the goal. Umpire, it's a goal, but the fight continues as well.
Well, they're all into it down there on that interchange section, Pete.
It's a ripper. Tilley and fellows it started with. Ruse getting into it as well. And trainers, umpires come in to settle them down. That's Mullane and Lyon in there. I don't know if any numbers have been taken.
Well, I think the umpire have a job taking numbers. There's a lot of people mixed up in the bit of a fracas there, isn't there?
I've forgotten who kicked the goal now. Was it Daniels, Bob?
You did call Daniels, Pete.
Well, if it's 3 goals to Daniels. So Abernathy coming off, perhaps not surprising, but...
Well, Daniels has done a great job so far. 5 kicks, 1 handball and 3 goals. So it's a good start by the youngster from Sea Lake. As we watch on replay now, Daniels taking possession, steadying, and no mistake about that one.
So 3 goals to Daniels. And while all that was happening, of course, we had the fight on the centre wing position. Conlon and Tilley. Let's hope wiser heads prevail.
Well, they were both in the thick of things there.
They certainly were. The score, 3 points the difference in favour of Fitzroy. 42 plays 39. a crackerjack game of football, and the fights aren't bad either. Tilley gets that knockout. Looks for a free kick. Rains gets the ball out of the centre for Collingwood, down towards half forward. Opportunity now for Neville Shaw. Picks it up, boots it high, looking for Taylor. Pert is right there with him, as he has been all night. And a free kick going which way?
I think it was very technical. It's against Brian Taylor, and I thought Taylor just stood his ground.
I thought that was a very technical decision against Taylor that time. Ball punched out by Smith. Good play on the part of Smith. The ball out of bounds. So it's out of bounds about 70 metres around from the Collingwood goal. The difference only 3 points. There's the Taylor one. Now, what would you do about that, Bob?
Well, he had his eye on the ball all the way.
Well,
if you can't stand your ground and in the front position, what can you do?
Well, Fellowes trying to get out. He's down. He'll get a push on the back. And, well, we thought it may have quietened down after that first 5 minutes of rough play, but by golly, it's been on all day as we see Phillips drive it up there towards the full forward position. They all get under. There's a go now for Neville Shaw. He fumbles the ball, picked up by Hitchens, backed up well. He goes for a pass. It's grabbed here by Bernie Harris. The kick is high. Fellowes flies. That's a great mark. So Fellowes with the ball now at half forward, still about 70 metres out from goal. 3 points the difference in favour of Fitzroy. Another box on there between Tony Shaw and Leon Harris.
It's against Collingwood now.
Well, it'll go to Leon Harris against Tony Shaw. We'll pick that behind players. We see Roos shoot it across towards centre half forward. Good play on the part of Rains that time. Scouting nicely. Drives it out to Daniels. He's already kicked 3 goals. Takes a nice mark. He's showing good form. He goes for a pass. It's a good one. And it's marked by Tony Shaw. Tony Shaw would be about 40 metres out.
On replay, a lovely pass from Daniels.
Well, he's played a very good game, kicking 3 goals. A short pass. Oh, he got under that one that time. Williams couldn't hold the mark. Picked up by Comden. A hand pass comes out to Pert. He's grabbed. Down he goes. A chance now. The ball kicked off the ground by Neville Shaw, but he's on target. And it's through for 1 point. It's desperate football. Shaw at it again. He's having a go with Harris.
Oh, bit of eye gouging there.
Well, they haven't messed about. This has been going on all night.
Fitzroy becoming a little rattled, Bob.
I think they are. I think Fitzroy would be far better off if they forgot Collingwood and concentrated on the ball. And I'm not suggesting for one moment that it's Collingwood at fault. I think tempers are a bit frayed on both sides, but Fitzroy, the way they played in the second term, and by using the ball well and running on, would be far better off to use their pace and get away from Collingwood.
Well, there's a penalty against Taylor now from the kick-off mark, Peter, so there's only 2 points the difference.
A good long kick by Pert too. McIver in front has the ball knocked away from him. Now the umpire has found a free kick. There's a downfield. Both umpires getting involved in the act here. So the kick will now be taken by Laurie, it looks like, at the centre square line. Grant Laurie to put Fitzroy into attack. Only 2 points the difference in the Foster's Cup. Okay, which one is that? On the shoulder. Collingwood free kick to Mullane. Dixon has the ball, but it will be brought back, says umpire Hinton. So plenty happening out there at the moment, as has been the case right throughout the night. High kick by Mullane, and it travels about 35 to 40 metres. Going for the knock-on was Burgess. Ball knocked on by Phillips. 2 Fitzroy players are there. Laurie should get there first. Rowe comes in to help him out. Down goes Phillips. Picked up by Harris. Flings it out to Rowe. Caught. Great tackle. That was by McMullen, wearing Gary Shaw's number 11 Guernsey. Osborne gets the hand pass out. Down goes, that was Barwick. Fellowes offloaded. Gets his kick in. Again, 2 Fitzroy players are there. Ball picked up by Blakey. Mark missed by Fellowes. And also down there by Gafer, out of bounds. Boundary throw in right half forward flank for Fitzroy.
Well, there's no big partners out there. They're all having a go.
It's certainly been a tough contest. We hope wherever you're watching, you're enjoying the Foster's Football Cup. It's been a great match tonight between the co-tenants at Victoria Park. Hand pass comes from Lyon down to Burke. Burke's gone for a short pass, trying to find Bernie Quinlan. Super boot, will he get there first? Lowry right there, so too is Smith. Neville Shaw comes in to lend assistance. Quinlan flings out the hand pass. Conlon, 20 metres out, shoots at goal, might be there. One behind.
It was great play on the part of Quinlan. Bobby was in a hopeless position.
It was a very quick hand pass, and Mickey Conlon playing an excellent game tonight. Just not quite balanced on the left foot as Quinlan gets the hand pass out on replay now. Michael Conlon, but just not quite able to put it through for a goal, but he's played an excellent game. 9 kicks, 3 handballs, and been a busy player.
McEwen to bring the ball back into play. 3 points the difference.
And there we see a nice mark taken out there by Phillips. Playing at centre half forward, goes for Rains. Rains is interfered with that time, but the umpire said play on. It comes back to Tilly. Tilly's pass is a short one, not good. Go for Mullane, coming there at centre half back, scoops it up on the half volley that time, goes for the boundary line, but he's put it out of bounds on the full. It'll be a penalty free kick to Fitzroy. There we see Billy Picken ready to come on. I bet he gets the best round of applause you've heard all night.
Taylor could be the player to go off, Lou.
There's the ball, and remember Picken came on last week and kicked 6 goals up there in down there in Tasmania. Good hand pass by McIver over the line. This looks dangerous. Conlon running to an open goal.
That's better.
Is that a goal? I think it might be a point.
Oh.
So it's 4 points the difference.
Picken on, Taylor off.
Well, Taylor's off the ground, and there they go for Billy Picken now. Listen to that. They love him, don't they?
New number 2, Billy Picken. He used to be number 25.
By golly, if he takes a mark down, they'll bring the grandstand down, won't they?
It certainly will.
Waiting now for the ball to come back into play by McEwen. The difference, 4 points in favour of Fitzroy. It's a ding-dong struggle as we see Tilly fumble the ball there at half-back. Gives the hand pass over. Driven up there by Fitzroy again. Sumner got under that one. The ball smothered by McEwen. Picked up a hand pass to Conlon. This will be a goal. Yes, a goal.
10 points the difference. Mickey Conlon now kicking 2 goals, 3. Brian Taylor off the ground to be replaced by, or he has been replaced by Billy Picken. Up on the forward line, crashing his way through his fellows, went without the ball. Smith wins possession, gets Collingwood into attack up to their half-forward line. It's a free kick going Fitzroy's way. It might be a 15-metre penalty against Tony Shaw. It will be taken by Leon Harris.
Done a couple of silly things this quarter, Tony Shaw.
Out the ruse. Played an excellent first half. Knocked down by Sumner. Smith fumbles. Chance for Harris. Dispossessed pretty quickly. Scrimmage at half forward. Lyon gets offloaded, a little bit too slow. Chance for Cooper, had his hair pulled there. He's just come onto the ground as well. Now it's Neville Shaw. Gets clear from Pekin, up towards half forward. The high flyer was Pert. Williams offloaded as he kicks. Which way will it bounce? Oh, it's stopping just before the goal square, picked up by Harris.
Billy Picken will get a free kick from the back behind play.
Oh, Billy, will he get the distance?
Yes, he'll get a free kick for sure.
Well, he's not the greatest kick in the world, but let's take a look at the incident, Bob.
Yes, no doubt it was a free kick. It certainly wasn't good play by Pert because it was Leon Harris who was clearing the ball away, and a foolish piece of defensive work by Gary Pert.
Well, Lou said he kicked 6 goals, but he's never been the greatest kick in football.
Now, let's see what he can do with this, Pete. I think he's put it out of bounds.
He has on the full.
Back to his old style again. On you, Bill.
So derisive jeers. He's been a great player, Bill Picken, with Collingwood initially, and then with his 2 years at the Swans. Didn't have much luck injury-wise up there. He'll be hoping for better things this year. Picked up by Dixon off the hands of the pack. Oh, Hinchin went without the ball. Then he soccers it well clear. Cooper takes the hand pass at half-back. His second touch up towards the centre field area. Oh, Sumner missed that one. He copped one for his corner as well. Ball driven down by Pekin up towards half forward, taken by Williamson. Williamson's hand pass is not a particularly good one. It goes to McMullen. As I said, wearing Gary Shaw's jumper. Gafer tackled, loses the ball. Scrimmage at half forward for Fitzroy. It will be a bounce.
Well, the umpires are certainly letting it go, aren't they?
The players of both sides going in very solidly, as has been the rule right throughout the night. 10 points in favour of Fitzroy. The third quarter in progress, 17.5 minutes. Knocked down by Fellows. Hand pass comes out to McMullen. He's tackled by Burke, perhaps a little bit late. Harris missed it, picked up by Smith. He's gone for a hand pass, tried to find Williams. Tilly, he's certainly a rough and ready customer, isn't he? Tilly, he livened things up when he came on. Shaw got tackled too high for mine. Tony Shaw with the free kick.
Oh, the umpire's call play on. I think he paid the free kick there first, Bob, didn't you?
I'm sure he paid the free kick.
Paid it. He did. He paid it, and Shaw was bewildered about that.
He did single a free kick.
Oh. Well, he's gone back for it. Now he's called play on. Oh, well, Well, he had the chance to get clear, but he wanted to argue with the umpire. A stand. There's another bit of a box on between Neville and no, it's Billy Pickett and Pert. Yeah, it's Pickett and Pert, the two P's.
And so that with a mouthful of pep.
That's right. Ball back out there towards that half-forward line. The pack fly. Oh, Bernie Quinlan nearly grabbed that one. This is Bernie Harris coming out of the pack, goes for a pass. And there'll be a mark to Big Williamson. He's got it right in front. He'd be about 35 to 40 metres out.
Well, that was foolish play there by the big fellow McKeon, because he could easily have got a 15-metre penalty.
Let's see what happens now. Fitzroy in front by 10 points into this quarter by just on 19 minutes. The third of the Foster's Football Cup, the fourth of the series for 1986. Good crowd here tonight. I'd say well over the 10,000 mark.
About 508 in excess of that, Lou. 10,508.
Kick by Williamson. There it is on its way. But he's up target. And it is through for 1 point. So it's 11 points the difference. Just on the 19.5-minute mark of the third quarter. 6 goals, 440 Collingwood to Fitzroy's 7-9-51 in one of the toughest matches we've seen in the night series for a long, long time. Well, it's been on for young and old all night. Pass. It'll be okay. And the ball marked there by Burgess. A hand pass back to McKeown. That didn't gain much ground. Coming in to meet it now, Mullane out there at half-back. Goes for a pass. It'll be okay. And marked on the centre wing position by Tony Shaw. Goes for a pass, looking out there for McMullen. He grabs it on the boundary line, but it's out. But it's up there on Collingwood's half-forward, on about 75 metres around from their goal. And they're trailing by 11 points. I think they kicked their first goal in this quarter, the 45-second mark. But Fitzroy have bounced back as the ball hits the deck again. That's Conlon driving it long again. He's played a great game. Oh, an easy mark dropped by Fellows. Tries to crash through the packet. Goes over to Sumner. He copped the heavy one. They're going in hard, Fitzroy, as the ball comes out from Berg. They're all in there. Picked up now by Line. Line out there at half forward. Scoots around his opponent. Shoots the ball up there towards the full forward position. Mullane, oh, flying high was Osborne. That's a ripper of a mark. A magnificent mark by Osborne.
Better than the one he took earlier.
An extremely hard player to mind, Richard Osborne. He's only had 4 possessions for the night, 2 kicks and 2 handballs, but every time he goes near the ball he spells danger, and he very rarely misses them when he gets an opportunity.
Well, he's got a chance to kick this goal because he's only about 20 metres out, dead in front. There it is on its way. And he's kicked it.
2 goals to Richard Osborne, 40 players 57, and that's the biggest margin between the sides tonight. 17 points in favour of Fitzroy, knocked away by Fellows. Not a well-directed knock on though, and Conlon thumps it further downfield for Fitzroy, picked up by Sumner for Collingwood. Tony Shaw, a little bit too long for him. Leon Harris wins out, gets around Phillips, up the centre wing, too long for Burke, backing up as McIver. Tries to get around Morwood, successfully does so. On to Harris, that's Bernie Harris, on to Laurie. Laurie marks in front of Smith. Not a good hand pass to Big Tilly, tries to get it to Conlon. Conlon's good enough to take it. Fitzroy looking pretty good now. Barwick. 2-on-1. Quinlan's there for Fitzroy, can't take it, out of bounds. Boundary throw in right forward pocket for the Lions. Bob Rose looking perhaps a little bit worried, as well he might. Rain's coming off for Collingwood, and coming on will be Beers, I think for the first time tonight. Fellows again can't direct that one. He got a little bit underneath the ball. Osborne, good tackle, was it? No free kick forthcoming. Harris's hand pass back to Osborne for goal number 3. Can't get it. High. Quinlan. Oh, great mark. How did he get that? Great mark, Bernie Quinlan. Has kicked 2 goals so far from limited opportunities.
I think as we watch the replay here, we just see the experience of Quinlan. He just read that one to perfection, and could easily have been another 15-metre penalty there.
Could have been. Goal number 3 if he's accurate. He is 3 goals to Quinlan, and that's a very useful lead to Fitzroy. 23 points, 9-9 to 6-4 in the Foster's Cup at VFL Park.
Yes, and Bernie Quinlan, 3 goals from only 5 kicks, only 7 possessions. It could easily have been a free kick to Glowry there. I would have paid it, but we saw it tap back out, and Osborne, a high floating kick, a really hard one for anybody to judge, and Bernie Quinlan really showing his experience to the fore.
3 goals to Bernie Quinlan, 23 points. That's the biggest margin again in favour of either team tonight. Fitzroy enjoy the lead at the moment, with the third quarter in progress, nearly 24 minutes. So not far away from time on. The last 2 quarters, good ones for Fitzroy. Loose ball on centre wing, picked up by Morwood for Collingwood. Morwood out further, mark taken by Beers in front of Burke. Looking for a 15-metre penalty. He does get one, but the umpire decides to call play on. Beers does so. Fine mark taken by Roos, who has done little wrong tonight. Roos out to Conlon, and we could say the same about Mickey Conlon. Conlon at his best. Tilley, and again, not a good hand pass from Tilley. His disposal hasn't been good tonight since he came on. It's a boundary throw-in on centre wing.
24 and a half minutes gone of this third quarter. It's Collingwood 40 points, trailing St Kilda 60, Fitzroy, I should say, 23 points. Ball out there on that half-forward line. Smith gets a hurried kick out wide. Oh, that's a good kick. He got that on the half volley that time, and Conlon again dropped the mark. In goes Burke. He's slunk to the ground. Conlon still scouting out, but it'll be over the line and out of bounds.
Well, I don't think I've ever seen Mickey Conlon play so much for the team as he has tonight.
Well, I think, in my opinion, Bob, he's the best player on the ground. I know Roos has played a great game, but Conlon's been the real team lifter. Ball hurried out and kicked out of bounds that time by Barwick, I think it was, and it'll be a penalty or throw-in.
Throw-in, Luke.
A throw-in from that half-forward line for Collingwood, or on their half-forward line, about 65 metres around from their goal. It'll be Tilley against Fellows. Well, actually, Tilley got that one down to Burke. He goes for a hand pass, missed that. Tilley goes in to try and smother that. It comes out again. A hurried kick by Daniels. And nearly a mark. He's paying that free kick, or a mark to Osborne there. Cooper it is. So Cooper's kick is short once again. We see Conlon taking that mark out there on that half back line. His kick is a hurried one back out towards the wing position. Flying high that time was McMullen. Couldn't hold the mark. A chance now for Rowe to drive the ball back over that half forward line. Going after it as line, tried to break through the pack, but he was put off balance, but he won't give up. He goes for a hand pass coming back. Neville Shaw goes, and he cops one to go on with, and the ball is finally forced out of bounds. But Fitzroy forcing it down towards their forward line, and it's about 50 metres around from their goal.
Just well, he didn't cop that haymaker that went on.
Ball back into play again. Grabbed by Fellows, then he loses it, tries to go for a hand pass. A hurried kick by Tony Shaw. Punched on by Cooper, well played by Tilley over to Conlon again, doing a marvellous job as he shoots the ball up there, looking for Burnley. Quinlan got one hand to it. Bit of scrimmaging going on. No one can get clear. Finally, they're all having a bit of a go. That's Peakin in the thick of things, but it's Burgess coming out of the back for Collingwood to take the ball away from the back pocket. Looks for Beers. He gets under that one. Peakin's first to recover. Turns around, but Beers into his back, pulls him to the ground. The umpire said it's dropping the ball, and a free kick will go to Beers, who just replaced Rains about 3 minutes ago in that centre position. Kick back there towards Collingwood's half-forward line. Phillips got up an hour too early that time. This allows Rowe to back up, but he fumbles the ball, couldn't get clear. Down goes Phillips. He was grabbed when he didn't have the ball that time, and he'll take the free kick out there on the centre wing for Collingwood. Phillips's kick is not a good one, giving Collingwood a chance to get clear now, as we see Smith trying to get clear. The umpire said he threw the ball away, and it'll be a free kick down there to Leon Harris. He's not doing a bad job down there in defence either, Bub.
Well, he's given the job of going everywhere that Tony Shaw does, and he's done it well.
27 and a half minutes gone in the third quarter. Out it goes to Burke. And after a slow start, he was well beaten in the first quarter by Daniels. Burke's done particularly well. And that's one of those balls that are very hard to catch. Peakin couldn't gain control before it was out of bounds. And we'll see a throw-in on centre wing. Close to three-quarter time. Again, a good quarter for Fitzroy. Fellows on the right. Not a decisive tap down, this time picked up by Peakin. Ball knocked further forward for Barwick to gain position, which he does so well. High ball out towards full forward. And a good mark taken by McEwen, who gives the hand pass to Mullane. In pursuit is Osborne. He gets offloaded. Mullane. Beers and Quinlan. Super boot giving chase. Beers not a good kick. Roos on centre wing. Quinlan waited for it. Goes for the long kick predictably. The back Mullane. McEwen backs up. Williamson is there. Mullane again. On to Glowry. On to Burgess. Not a good hand pass. Burgess could be in a little bit of trouble. He well shepherded. Gets out of it. And the West Adelaide player down towards Pickett. What's Billy going to do here? Gets it back to Phillips with the hand pass. Phillips on right centre wing, and the mark taken by Dixon from Pekin. He goes long, has a shot. Williams, yes, marks in front.
Playing the part of Dixon that time. He spotted him beautifully, Bob.
There's an excellent play by Bill Picken too. It was Picken who led right up the ground, attacked the ball, trapped it well, gave the hand pass along to Phillips, and then immediately he came right down the ground to give his skipper a bit of encouragement. So excellent play by Picken.
2 goals to Williams now, and a badly needed one for Collingwood, close to the three-quarter time siren. 7-4 to 9-9. 46 plays 63. Here it is in replay. Phillips,
after taking the hand pass from Picken, gets it to Dixon, and a well-placed kick to Mark Williams, and fine position.
So Mark Williams 2 goals, Daniels 3. The major contributors for Collingwood. Neville Shaw has 1, and Phillips also has 1 goal. Back into the centre, 46 to 63. Tilley in ruck for Fitzroy. Only 30 minutes gone in the term. Again, nobody getting a decisive tap out from the centre. Morwood fumbles. The opportunity on centre wing now for Collingwood to swing into attack as it's picked up by Sumner. Picken flies with Pert. Dixon, can he gather it in? Beers is there too, so is Neville Shaw. Gets it back to Williams again. He's gone for a pass on this occasion, and chipping in to take it is Smith. 20 metres out, fires at goal, and what's he done with it? It looks good, it is. So 2 goals to Collingwood in the space of 30 seconds, and the Magpies back in with a chance. They trail by 11 points.
It's a good teamwork by Collingwood on that occasion. They fully deserved it. There's Dixon in the thick of things again, giving it across to Neville Shaw. Likewise to Mark Williams, and I think Williams was actually looking for Bill Picken.
I think so.
But Greg Smith going towards goal, took it well, continued on down the ground. A lovely goal and good teamwork by Collingwood.
Just on the 31-minute mark, the siren to go any tick of the clock. 11 points the difference. And Collingwood bouncing back in favour of Fitzroy. Picked up by Barwick. He copped one a bit high, but the umpire called play on. Bernie Quinlan's got another one. He's doing a great job down there at full forward.
I think he just about kicked this.
Has already kicked 3. Oh, well, this is only about 45 metres. It's chicken feed, this kick for Bernie Quinlan. There it is on its way. It's a long kick, but I think he's up target. He is, and it's through for 1 point. So it's 2 goals the difference in favour of Fitzroy. Well, Bernie's played, what, 350 games, I think, and he's still a very valuable player.
Yeah, he's a great athlete, Bernie Quinlan, and has been around for a long time, both with Footscray and Fitzroy, and has been an ornament to the game.
Ball back into play. 12 points the difference in favour of Fitzroy. A chance for big fellows to mark this one. He got under that one, couldn't hold it. It's grabbed here now by McMullen, wearing number 11 tonight. Goes for a short pass. Knocked away by Pekin, away from Neville Shaw, but it's out of bounds. Out of bounds on the centre wing position.
That doesn't indicate that Gary Shaw can't make the salary cap, does it, Lou?
I don't know.
Does Gary know that?
Ball back into play again. Chile got his hands, but picked up by Dixon. He's been in everything this last 10 minutes or so. Oh, mark dropped by Burke. There's a go now, backing up well as Hitch, and a hand pass to Roos. That's the siren to win the 3rd quarter of the Foster's Football Cup. And it's still a ding-dong struggle as we see Fitzroy, 9 goals, 10-64 to Collingwood, 8 goals, 4-52.
No night match next week at VFL Park. The next night game will be the 1st of April, April Fool's Day. Essendon and Richmond you'll see at the park. The Bombers and the Tigers, and that promises to be a great game too. Let's check the scores to three-quarter time. And we see Collingwood 8 goals, 4-52, trailing Fitzroy 9-10-64. The Magpies adding 4-1 in that term. Fitzroy added 4-5. Collingwood getting 2 goals in the time on period. The goal kickers for Fitzroy, Quinlan 3, Conlon 2 and Osborne 2. Singles to Rendell and McIver, the former off the field at the moment. For Collingwood, Daniels has 3, 2 to Williams and singles to Phillips, Greg Smith and Neville Shaw. Bob Skilton, your summary to three-quarter time.
So I think the only time that Fitzroy really went off the boil was when they lost concentration, when things got a little bit hectic, and they forgot that they were by far the superior side at that stage, and really brought themselves back to Collingwood. But they did settle down again, and with 9 scoring shots to 5, did have the better of the term. But Collingwood, through the agency of their smaller players, did come back into it a bit. Dixon in particular particular was an excellent player. Williams gave them something to attack to. But all in all, when you look down, particularly at that goal-to-goal line, Pert has been on top right throughout and hasn't allowed much, as we see a little bit of the period where Fitzroy did lose their momentum and worried a little bit too much about what was going on. But Mickey Conlon running into the open goal, so far probably best man on the ground, has played an excellent game. Likewise, Paul Roos at centre-half back. Doug Barwick, I'm not quite sure where Barwick was playing in that quarter, Lou. He was on the wing early, but Barwick played a superb quarter of football. He and Mickey Conlon absolutely cut Collingwood to pieces right throughout the quarter. Lyon came into the play, and Bernie Harris, Leon Harris both did well. Williamson was busy up forward, and Bernie Quinlan was there with 3 goals so far to his credit. Collingwood didn't have a great number of players at all. Tony Shaw, Neville Shaw were both excellent players up to half-time, but struggled a little bit during that quarter. Russell Dixon was about the only Collingwood player that could really be happy with his game.
All right, thank you, Bob. At 3/4 time, 2 goals the difference in favour of Fitzroy. We'll take a break and we'll be back at VFL Park for the final quarter of the Foster's Cup game between the Magpies and the Roos in just a moment. 2 goals the difference as we about to begin the final quarter of this Foster's Cup match. Umpire Hinton bounces the ball and we're underway in the final term. 9-10 Fitzroy leading Collingwood 8 goals for 64 players 52. The winner are placed in the quarterfinals against Footscray of this $525,000 competition. Chance for Fitzroy to swing into attack, and the ball is driven up towards their left half forward flank where it's taken by Harris. Beautifully directed pass. Osborne, he's kicked a couple of goals so far from limited opportunities, taken 2 great marks. Can he make it 3? It's not a bad sort of a kick. It touched right on the line, and so the first score of the final quarter coming up to Fitzroy. The Lions lead by 13 points. 52 plays 65.
The one player we didn't speak about who's done a fine job for Fitzroy since he came on is Tilly.
He replaced Rendell, didn't he? He's fiery looking cove, Bob.
Yes, he was in the thick of things earlier.
Ball back into play. Down by Phillips. In goes Mullane. Tries to beat Barwick to the ball. Couldn't do so. And umpire Clayton will bounce it just off the edge of the centre square. 9-11 to 8-4. Osborne. Mullane. Mullane's kick is only short. Now towards the edge of the square. Shaw should get there first. He does so. Or cops one for his corner, Neville Shaw. Umpire calls play on, which he does so. Gets it back to Smith. Not a well-directed hand pass from Smith. Too long for Burgess, and it's out of bounds on centre wing. A minute and a half gone. Final term. Matt Rendell obviously not taking any further part in the match with that groin injury. And Big Tilly doing the ruck work, and as Bob said, hasn't done a bad job since he came on. Mark taken by Dixon for Collingwood. Right half forward flank. Long way from goal though. Puts the ball high. Who's he got out there? Only Morwood. And he gets outmarked comprehensively by Paul Roos, who's played a very, very good game.
Very solid defender tonight. He's a brilliant player. He's got great anticipation, this fella, Bob. He backs his judgment, but by golly, he's very rarely wrong.
Yes, I think he's tightened his game up a lot too, Lou.
There's the ball driven up there by Fitzroy again. Chance there for Summer to take the mark. He goes after it after missing it. Tries to give a hand pass. Picked up by Laurie. Runs into trouble. But has the danger man. Out it goes to Conlon. A long kick looking for Bernie Quinlan. Couldn't hold the mark. Coming out to meet it now is Clow. He's had a tough job tonight. Back there to Mullane. Clow, they both lose it, and it's fine now. It's still back in play. There's a chance now for a hand pass from Bernie Harris. Back it goes to Williamson. The ball kicked high to the forward pocket. Off the top of the pack. That's Gay for having a kick there. It's a high one going for the boundary line. It might have hit the boundary line. It's still back in play. Well anticipated by Tilly. Goes for a pass. The mark dropped by Peake, and he taps the ball on. There's a go now for Burgess to break clear and spread eagle the pack as he sends the ball back towards the centre of the ground. And nearly a mark that time. He's paying it to Morwood and might have been a bit lucky. He's had a bit of a dirty night too as he goes for a short pass. And, well intercepted by Burke that time. Rowe goes after it, grabbed it and have the ball by a mile. It'll be a free kick against Beers. A 15-metre penalty too. Doesn't take that, he decides to play on wide, and wisely so too, because there's McIver out there, dropped an easy mark. Phillips goes in, McIver goes down. Strong play on the part of Phillips, takes the ball away, now playing at centre half back again. Billy Picken got one in the back, but the umpire said no, I think he might have been staging, as Cooper goes for the boundary line, intercepted by Williams. Cooper and Williams go after it, and it'll be over the line and out of bounds. So into this quarter by just on 4 minutes, and it's 13 points the difference. What do you reckon, Bob?
I think it was in the back, Lou.
Okay. Well, he didn't get the free kick. Off the top of the pack again. Going through that time was Cooper. He's scragged. That's Harris take. That's Leon Harris kicking it out wide towards the wing position. Fella's out there on his own. He's got a week to kick this one. He does. Drives it over the half-forward line. Players position themselves. That's Ruse. Ruse, as I said before, beautiful judgment, this fellow. Doing a great job at centre half back. He's been unbeatable here tonight. Now on the mark, he takes advantage of that, goes out wide, and this is Barwick. He's a small version of Conlon. He's got plenty of strength as he sends the ball back over the half-forward line, and staying down and taking a good strong mark is in that back position is Mullane. 4.5 minutes gone, still 13 points the difference in favour of Fitzroy.
Daniels, kick up towards half-forward. Tilly, Harris. Over to Ruse. Lou said impassable at centre half back. Quinlan doesn't get the run of the ball, knocked well away by Phillips. Might be the opportunity there for Tony Shaw if it bounces inside the boundary line. Harris doesn't let him play on from that though, and it will be a boundary throw in.
Done a very good job on Shaw, hasn't he, Harris?
He certainly has. It's Brian Taylor watching from the interchange bench.
Fellows and Williamson. Pretty rough and ready in there. Conlon. Up towards the forward pocket, Osborne and Mullane. Osborne the opportunity, perhaps back it comes to Lyon, looks for a hand pass, back to Williamson, tries to knock onto Conlon, not successful. Mullane again takes the hand pass, gets it over to Neville Shaw. It originally came from Gafer. Shaw's kick out towards the half back line. Fitzroy doing particularly well. It's Rose, the wingman. He came on at half time. Conlon again.
One of those minding him.
Mickey Conlon having a great game tonight.
It's not who's minding, it's who's supposed to be, I think, Lou.
Daniels off and Abernathy back on for Collingwood. But with Mickey Conlon, he's had 18 kicks so far and 5 handballs. Certainly been one of the top players in the match. A shot at goal from 45 metres out. That looks pretty good, Mickey Conlon. Did it shave the post? It did. So 1 behind is the result. Conlon's kicked 2-4 now, has he, Bob?
Yes, Pete.
52 plays 66. Still plenty of time for Collingwood to get up and win it. Daniels kicked 3 goals, so a fine debut has made tonight. At the back is McMullen. It's a high tackle going Fitzroy's way. McIver will take the free kick at left half forward. He's gone for a short pass. Guess who he's found? And an opportunity once again for Conlon. Might be a little bit too far out. For Quinlan. Ball knocked away from him by Glowry, and it will be a boundary throw in about 20 metres from the behind post. Fitzroy's left forward pocket.
7 minutes gone of the quarter. Fitzroy in front by 14 points and a chance to score here. It's about 30 metres around from their goal. A throw in. Grabbed by Fellows, nowhere to go. They soon collar him. It's holding the ball against him. I don't know why he tried to grab it instead of knocking it out in that position. It'll be a free kick against him. He was grabbed. Well, if you take that chance, Bob, you've got to suffer the consequences, haven't you?
I think you do those things on the forward line more than on the back line, Lou.
I'd reckon. Well, there's a chance now for Williamson to score a goal and put them 20 points in front, because he's only about 20 metres out from goal, if that. On a bit of an angle, but not a difficult shot. Comes in for the kick now. And the big fella didn't let his side down. It's a goal. Parkin on the phone into this quarter with just over 8 minutes. 52 plays 72 in favour of Fitzroy. The ball up, a scrimmage develops, and the umpire will ball it up again. Well, they're gradually losing this game, Collingwood. Fitzroy playing the better football. They have since about 10 minutes into the second quarter, Bob.
Well, Lou, Tony Shaw was doing very well early, and David Parkin swung Leon Harris onto him. Are you surprised that there's no Collingwood player following Conlon around?
Well, he's been on his own all night. He hasn't been tagged. That's one of the first players you'd pick up and tag. There's Ruse tagging another mark, and he's very heavily pressing Collingwood for the best play on the ground. Wouldn't you say that?
I think if he gave it to either, it would be a good choice, Lou.
That's right, Peter. Ball back out there towards the centre wing position. And there's a good mark taken there by Gaffer. Fella's shown a bit of form tonight. He looks like he could be a tough sort of a cookie. Up they go. They all miss that mark. They fall to the ground. In goes Williams to make the pack a bit bigger, and the umpire will ball it up out there on that half-forward line about 70 metres out from the goal.
Jeff Rains about to come back on, it would appear.
Well, we can see what Rains can do for them. The rest can't seem to do much at the moment. Knocked out by Morwood. Oh, there was a throw up that time by Picken, picked up by Burke. Out it goes now to Rowe, and he looks like he could be a player. Over to Barwick, scooting away from his opponent. Out wide, there's a chance now. But that's Line going for the long kick, looking there for Bernie. Quinlan and Williamson neither can take the mark. Quinlan goes after it again. He gives a hand pass back to Bernie Harris. A snap at goal, but he's put it out of bounds. And Bernie Quinlan doing a great job down there, the old veteran super boot, and Bob Rose scratching the old head there, and no wonder, because he sides in plenty of trouble at this stage of the quarter, just on the 10-minute mark.
Well, they haven't scored in this quarter, Lou. In fact, I do not think, from memory, they've got the ball anywhere near a chance of scoring.
72 points, Fitzroy to Collingwood, 52 as the ball comes back into play out towards that half-back line for Collingwood.
Ball beating Tony Shaw over the boundary line, and it will be a throw-in. Right half-forward flank for the Lions. Lee Matthews, assistant coach of Collingwood. Fellows and Williamson. Ball into the pocket, and Quinlan tries to get around Glowry. Does so. Right foot snapshot. Harris, the opportunity, made a meal of the mark. Great effort, certainly. Gets around Phillips, does he? Long hand pass into the goal square. Condon tries to crash his way through. The ball might go through for a behind. It has crossed the line, yes. One behind. So a point to Fitzroy. Takes them to 10-13. 73, they lead Collingwood by 21 points. So if Collingwood are going to win the match, they've got to get a rattle on quickly. Clock showing 11 minutes gone in the final quarter. Williams up from behind. Opportunity is for Hinchin. Rains swings onto the right foot. Back to Tony Shaw. Showed good judgment. Got two hands to the ball. Couldn't take the mark. This is about as far as Collingwood have got towards their forward line. Picked up by Leon Harris. Gets it back to McIver. McIver at centre field seems to have a fortnight to get rid of the ball. His pass not a well-directed one. Osborne is down there doing battle with Mullane. The latter might win out. Yes, gets it back to Dixon. Dixon twisting and turning around Barwick now. Towards centre wing. Beers, the flyer, almost into the back of his opponent. No free kick from the umpire. It's picked up by Cooper. Cooper goes for the hand pass. Gets it back again. Pert. And the Lions through Cooper once more up towards the centre wing position. Collingwood through Burgess now. Magpies defending desperately. Now the opportunity through Smith. Smith goes for a short pass. Down towards Morwood. Williams, can the skipper do anything? On to Tony Shaw. They're going the long way home, certainly. This looks all right. Morwood, can he mark it? Almost a free kick. Collingwood fans were certainly looking for one. Down goes Pickett. Almost could have been in danger there as well. Pert.
Oh, golly, got him by the legs.
Goes for a hand pass. Back it comes to Neville Shaw now. Neville Shaw from 45 metres out. Shoots at goal. It's off target. Collingwood's first score of the final quarter coming up at the 12.5-minute mark, but still 20 points the difference.
I thought Pert was grabbed by the legs then, Bob.
I thought he was too, Lou, but there's really nothing decisive about the way Collingwood are going about their play at the moment.
Got no attack whatsoever.
Cooper towards the members' stand side. You can certainly see the David Parkin coaching in the Lions at the moment, with Fitzroy players running downfield in 2s and 3s. And that was one of the facets of Parkin's game when he was with Carlton that made them such a successful side. McEwen on the left and McIver on the right, having a few words as we have a boundary throw-in on centre wing.
13 minutes gone of the last quarter of the Foster's Football Cup. There'll be a free kick against Fellows. It'll go to Big Tilly, and as Bob said, hasn't done a bad job since coming on the ground. Strong sort of a bloke as he kicks the ball high towards centre half forward. Picked up by Gaffer. Hand pass comes back there to Mullane. He goes for the boundary line. It'll be out of bounds. I think he might have been looking out there for his teammate in Sumner. Taylor back on the ground. Fellows off, so they might be putting Taylor in the ruck. See what he can do. Certainly didn't do much at full forward. Ball back there towards the full forward position again. Williamson got up high, picked up by Gaffer again. Short pass by Neville Shaw. A good one over there to Taylor. So he gets a touch. A hand pass comes over. As they go now for Collingwood to go deep into attack through Burgess. A long kick up there towards the full forward position. Punched away from the Collingwood forwards. Beers gets a hand pass to Williams. Gets through the pack nicely. A hand pass coming over to Smith. A long shot at goal. Will it make it? It makes the distance okay, but they're off target. And that makes the difference 19 points. So it's 10 goals, 13, 73 Fitzroy to Collingwood, 8 goals, 654. Just on the 14.5-minute mark of this last quarter. All back into play again. Well, there's Leon Harris left unattended that time, and this Collingwood side falling apart as the ball goes down there towards the Fitzroy half-forward line. Coming out to meet it as McIver gets a hurried kick, but at least he gets it back towards his forward line. And the ball is out of bounds. Now the umpire said plain. I thought it might have been out of bounds.
So did I.
As Gaffer gets it back to Taylor, but he can't bend down. No free kicks there as the Gaffer goes for a hand pass again. Pekin picks it up and he's kicked it out of bounds on the full. And that'll be a penalty free kick to Collingwood down there on that half-back line. But when the ball gets onto their forward line, they've got no attack whatsoever, Bob.
No, just as well their defence doing as well as they are.
Well, there's a short pass and picked up here by Abernathy back on the ground. The kick is well over centre half forward. Coming out to meet it is Williams. A quick hand pass to Beers, but he's collared, but he breaks clear. A left foot snap at goal. It's going close. It's got a chance. No, it was veered off. I think Pert might have touched that and forced it out. And it's out of bounds in the forward pocket. There'll be a throw in right against Collingwood's point post. And they're trailing by 19 points as we approach the 15.5-minute mark of this last quarter.
Chance for Collingwood. Ball in their right forward pocket. They haven't had it in their attacking zone on too many occasions in the final term. So let's see if they can do something here. Picken, the opportunist, dives on top of it. Could almost be penalised for holding it, but it's going to be a bounce. Still about, as you can see, 20 metres from goal. Picken with the number 2 jumper on. McEwen wearing number 25 after Picken's 2-year stint with the Swans. Picken gets it out to Pert around Morwood. Good long kick by the Fitzroy fullback. 2-on-1 out there. Sumner tried to knock the ball on. Finally Rhodes it well himself. Goes for the hand pass. Oh, not a particularly good one here. Back to Neville Shaw. It's going to be a free kick anyway. Shaw thinking about a short one. On to Taylor. It's the Bronx cheer from the crowd. Fitzroy defence working overtime now. It's left to Ruse. Oh, got one too high. He'll get a free kick against Mark Williams and Paul Ruse at centre half back. Certainly in the top bracket of good players tonight. 12 kicks and 5 marks and 5 handballs to Paul Ruse. 15-metre penalty applied. Ruse now goes for the kick. It is well directed to Grant Laurie. Hinchin at centre field. No one within cooey of him. Beautifully long kick. Trying to find Quinlan. In fact, it was a little bit too long for him. Williamson makes good position. Out it comes to Lyon. Spins out, drops the ball. Good tackle, Phillips. And Phillips will take the free kick for Collingwood. Has kicked a goal to his credit. And Lyon's not going to get it for him, so McEwen has to come in and do the foxing. Phillips just up from right back pocket. Ball off the side of the boot. Oof. Gaffer. Ball tapped onto Tony Shaw now on right centre wing. And as we would expect, Tony Shaw trying all night. Williams offloaded just as he kicks, and Gary Pert again. He's played a great game tonight too. Misses one from Williams. It's left to Cooper, who fires out a 25-metre hand pass to Laurie. Gets it back again to Burke. Burke in turn onto Osborne. In pursuit is Abernathy. Oh, he shows him a clean pair of heels to Osborne. He's going like a store gift winner. Look at him go. Long kick in towards full forward. Lyon and Quinlan. Lyon comes out with the ball. Will he have a shot? He's positioned it well. McIver, can he get there? Yes. 10 metres out, fires it goal and has put it through for...
19 minutes into this last quarter and Fitzroy looking really good. 79 plays, 54.
Oh,
golly, there's a chance for a free kick, I would say.
That's like Gary Dempsey and Don Scott a few years
taking
ago.
His number.
Remember that one?
Well, he's had a bad night tonight. He's been off the ground. And now he's come back onto the ground into the ruck and they've reported him.
We watch on replay. As Taylor did not even look at the ball.
Well, there we see Taylor reported again. Well, no comment as we wait now for the ball to be brought back into play, this time by Big Tilly. There's the kick by Tilly, well over the half-forward line. No one can take that mark. They're going in left and right. Fitzroy putting a lot of pressure on Collingwood. Their defence, their attacks as strong as their defence tonight. There's McIver again, as Bob mentioned. He's played a very good game. Bernie Quinlan limping. It looks as though it could be the knee. Don't tell me there's something wrong with old Superbit, because he's showing plenty of form tonight. The ball knocked out again. Another scrimmage. They're all trying to... It's Sumner getting a hand pass out to Abernathy. Kicks it short. Picked up on the first or half volley that time by Tony Shaw. Goes for a pass to Taylor. Couldn't get that one. The crowd giving him something to go on with. Oh, there'll be a free kick against Harris. He didn't see that, but the umpire said it'll be a ball up.
Taylor and Tilly on behind the play.
Well, they're having a bit of a go. Of course, Taylor's been reported for interfering with Tilly at that centre bounce, as we saw back there on the replay. Umpire talking to Tilly.
I've lost between that pair.
They're having a bit of a box on. That's a nice gentle spar, yes. Well, waiting for that ball up on the centre wing position. Bernie Quinlan, I should say, with a bad knee.
At this stage, I don't see any sense in Quinlan staying on, Lou, with the interchange player.
Well, Billy Pickett went up to put his 20 cents worth in. The umpire told him to get back and mind his own business. And rightly so, too. 11 goals, 13.79. Fitzroy to Collingwood, 8.654.
Game's had everything, hasn't it?
Yep. And Fitzroy looking as though they've got this game well in their keeping, Bob. They're playing strong football, whether it's in defence or in attack.
And playing far more discipline in football than Collingwood. Collingwood could do well to have a look at the replay and just see some lack of discipline in their performance.
Up it goes to Moore with that kick coming there from Neville Shaw, and he's got the ball about 45 metres out from goal directly in front. Distance might be too far. He hasn't played too well tonight, but he's had plenty of mates. Running on Morwood. There's the kick on its way. Won't reach the distance. And that'll have to be a mark to Billy Pickett. That was a strong mark. That at about Billy. It doesn't matter what position the game is in. He'll have a go.
15 metres, I think he's got here.
Still a handy play to have around the place, and that was a typical pick and mark.
Well, he's got the
15 metres.
Yeah, and he's got a chance to score. He couldn't miss this one, I don't think, Billy. The difference now is, what, 25 points. There's about 8 minutes to go, I'd reckon. I'll go back and kick it, Bill. Don't argue about it. You wouldn't say it was safe over the line until he's kicked it through. Here we got that one through. So it's 19 points the difference.
So Billy Pickett bringing up a goal, making the difference now 19 points. At the other end of the ground, Bernie Quinlan walking around, seems to be okay, but Brian Taylor has been reported. We've had fisticuffs. It really has been, shall we say, a night to remember between the Victoria Park co-tenants. 60 plays 79 in the Foster's Cup. The winner through to the quarter-final to tackle Fitzroy later in the year. Chance again for Mickey Conlon, but Abernathy beats him to it and gets it out to Greg Smith. Ball scooped back towards Burke. Opportunity for McEwen. In pursuit is McIver. McEwen gets there first. Back to the centre wing it comes. Now it's Beers. Back to Abernathy. But a 30 night earlier, Paul Roos. Great mark. In line for best on ground honours with Mickey Conlon, and you can give it to either. They've both played very, very good games, those two players, and I'm sure David Parkin would be pretty happy with them. Osborne, he hasn't played a bad game either through limited opportunities. He certainly made the most of them. Mullane tackled well, loses the ball. Out to Glowry and turn on to Sumner. Good smother from Doug Barwick. Might be out of bounds, is it, Lou?
Yep.
And so it will be a boundary throw in Fitzroy's right forward pocket, as we are about 30 seconds away from the time on period. 19 points the difference. 9 Taylor, 42 Tilly. And they've been involved in a couple of skirmishes. One a short time back, resulting in a report. Tribunal probably would be on Thursday night. As I said, the game has had everything. Rains. Phillips from half back. Neville Shaw got one hand to it, couldn't take the mark. In comes Pekin. Shaw has another dip at him. Still can't get the ball into the open spaces. Fitzroy do through Burke. On in turn to Hinchin from right centre wing. Hinchin, long kick up towards Harris. Couldn't take the mark. Osborne. Back to Tilly again. Tries to beat Phillips. Down he goes. Phillips on top of him, and it's going to be a bounce almost on the boundary line, still in Fitzroy's forward pocket, and still the difference is 19 points.
Into time on though, Pete, so the time running out for Collingwood.
Yes, it certainly is. They need 3 goals quickly.
Well, there'll be about 5 minutes to go, Bob.
We've had, yes, it'll be about 5 minutes, a couple of skirmishes in this final quarter. Knocked down by Taylor. Harris can't control the ball before once again it's over the boundary line. And again a boundary throw in. Don't forget, no match next week. Our next match on April the 1st between Essendon and Richmond here at VFL Park. Knocked down by Phillips. Abernathy fumbles. Chance for Quinlan. Seems to be okay. He was limping badly. Must have got a knock on the knee. Barwick tries to crash through. He's got a second chance or a third, but he might be penalised for holding the ball. And the free kick will go to Smith in the left back pocket for Collingwood. Former Swans player. Greg Smith looking for a lead across the half back line. Can't find one, so it goes long. McIver can't take the mark. Ball scooped out and turned to Mickey Conlon. Conlon a long shot at goal. Off target, out of bounds or behind. It's a point. So one further point to Fitzroy, and Conlon has now kicked 2-5. But the difference is 20 points as Mullane prepares to bring the ball back into play. 25 3/4 minutes gone. Luke?
20 points the difference. And I'm sure that time has run out for the Magpies. They're not playing well enough as the ball hits the deck again. Going after that time is Billy Picken down there in the thick of things. I don't know what he's doing down there. He was playing at full forward a couple of minutes ago.
He's out at centre-half forward, Lou.
There's the ball kicked out by Leon Harris. Picked up again by Phillips. A high kick out towards the wing position. Good chance here for Rowe to take the mark. And he's shown a little bit of form tonight. He could be a player, this young fella, Bob.
I think they've been an excellent team tonight to Fitzroy, as Rowe came on, I think, for memory at half-time, has had 5 kicks, 3 handballs, and slotted in well to the Fitzroy balance.
Well, a young boy from the under-19s, Rowe. Ball back into play again. Burgess against Tilley. Tilley got that one down. Dixon tries to get through the pack. He was grabbed, didn't have the ball. The umpire calls play on as Smith gets it out there on a mark taken by Neville Shaw. He's having a pretty tough tussle out there too with Pekin. Well, what Parkin's done, he's put a couple of players on the Shaw players, and it certainly brought them back to the field. We see Cooper go for a short pass.
Neville Shaw still played pretty well, though, Lou.
Yes, he's played well, but he hasn't been as effective as he was in that first half before Pekin went on him. Ball out of bounds on that half-forward line for Collingwood, and they're trailing by 20 points. Picked up again by Rowe. The kick falls short. Chance here now for Sumner to get a hurried kick over Collingwood's half-forward line. It bounces right, in goes Harris. Puts it away from, couldn't get clear of Williams. He's grabbed by Harris again, and the umpire will ball it up around about Collingwood centre half-forward position, about 55 metres out from their goal, and they're still trailing by 20 points. Fitzroy, 11-14-80 to Collingwood, 9-6-60. Collingwood's forward line hasn't looked good all night. Knocked out that time by Williamson. Going after it now is Burgess. Gives a long hand pass back to Sumner out there on the centre wing position. Weaves his way through the crowd that time as he goes for a pass. It's too long that time for Moore. This allows Pert to show a lot of dash as he takes that mark. Runs to the half-back line. He's run into trouble. It could be holding the ball. He said play on. He gave the benefit of the doubt as it goes over from Bernie Harris over to Hitchin. The ball out wide to Bernie. Quinlan and Superboots got 11 running shot at goal. It's a long kick. And a look at it go. What a beauty.
4 goals. Barwick's kick up towards half forward for Fitzroy. Phillips loses out. Tilley. Those two crash to the ground. It'll be a Phillips free kick for holding the man, and Phillips will take it at left half-back flank. Abernathy. Towards centre field, and there's the siren as Taylor takes the mark. But it's a Fitzroy win, and they advance to the quarterfinals of the Foster's Cup to play Footscray later in the year. The final scores showing Fitzroy victors by 26 points, 12-14, 86 to Collingwood, 9-6-60.
Well, Bobby, I think you've got to agree that Fitzroy were very impressive tonight, because they were, against an aggressive side, and they bounced back, and they looked a pretty good combination to me.
Yes, they're an excellent team side, and I don't think there was a player in the Fitzroy side that didn't at some stage contribute to their team's performance. And young Tilley, we saw Matt Rendell go up the race there with a came off the ground with a strained groin. Tilly came onto the ground and did an excellent job for his side. He got wonderful support from all over the ground. A very disappointing effort from Collingwood, lack of discipline in their lineup. But Fitzroy were well disciplined and they teamed well together. They ran in 2s and 3s, and no matter where they went, they had support from each other, and they had great leadership, experienced players like Michael Conlon. And at the final bell, we saw Collingwood 9 goals, 6, 60 points, a 26-point win to Fitzroy on 12-14-86.
26-point win to Fitzroy. They were outscored by Collingwood in the first quarter, but they in turn outscored the Magpies in the remaining 3 terms. Major goal kickers for Fitzroy. Bernie Quinlan got 4 and 2 each to Conlon, McIver and Osborne. And for Collingwood, Daniels got 3 goals and Williams 2. And the best player of the night, of course, wins the fabulous prize from National. We check on that right now.
Tonight's player of the match will receive this magnificent car audio system, including an auto-reverse cassette player, AM/FM stereo radio, high-power, slim-profile, 7-band graphic equalizer, amplifier, and high-efficiency 2-way speaker system. All with the compliments of National Car Audio. Sound on the move. The player of the series will own and drive Nissan's all-new Australian-developed Prestige family saloon. The new car, which will boast the highest level of luxury and comfort, is due to be unveiled shortly. Remember, you're on a winner at your Nissan dealer.
And I could announce after discussion with the panel that the winner of the prize tonight is Mickey Conlon. I don't think too many people at home would dispute that. Curtain raiser match here tonight. In the schoolboys saw the game turn out like this as we check the scores in the Herald Shield. Keon Park Tech 6-9-45 losing to Montmorency High School 14-12-96. And speaking of Collingwood, it's a big day there next Saturday, Lou, after their practice match.
Well, after their practice match, they have the presentation of the Guernsey. They want all the supporters to stay behind the match at 4:30, and all the supporters that are not at the practice match to turn up. It's the presentation of the players. There's gate prizes. There's plenty of giveaways. It'll be a great day there after the practice match next week.
OK, that takes us out from the Foster's Football Cup tonight. Hope you enjoyed the game. Certainly a fiery one with possibly a couple of reports. Brian Taylor certainly in the final term appeared to have his number taken. And don't forget, a next game in the series will be 2 weeks from tonight on April the 1st, Richmond versus the reigning premiers Essendon. A very good night to you all from VFL Park.
This match of the Foster's Football Cup was proudly brought to you by Carlton, one of the world's great brewers, and presented for your enjoyment by National Panasonic Consumer Electronics, in association with Hoover. Hoover, ahead of the rest. General Motors Holden. Holden, Australia's driving future. And SIO, your state insurance office.